not. Let's try that. Hey, audio is working. Welcome in, everyone. I don't know why OBS is acting cranky lately, but it is. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all. Hope you're going to enjoy this. We want to give a quick shout out to The Forge. That is our hosting service for Foundry. If you need Foundry hosting services, check out The Forge. Without further ado, let's find out what's going on with our peeps tonight, and then we're going to dive in and get things rolling. Azrael, since you're showing off your food, why don't you tell everyone what's going on with you and what's happening with Boss?
If the viewers can tolerate dogs like snarling at each other, then so be it.
I mean, you got to deal with it at some point.
So it's key lime flavor today, so it's wonderful. But I've got to watch how much I eat, or else I'm gonna pass out. Like sugar coma, pass out. So. No, I mean, everything's good. For you, so I need to play more Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It's so good. More Oblivion. I installed Diablo 4 again, but I haven't played it.
I don't waste your time.
It's okay, I uninstalled it.
I mean, I bought it. I bought it for $75 goddamn dollars.
It's a sunk cost fallacy to keep dumping time into a bad game.
Yep. If you're gonna play that style of game, play Path of Exile 2. It's a better game.
It's not free yet.
Don't care.
Once it's
Leaps
free,
and
I'll
bounds
play
better
it.
game.
Once it's free, I'll play
It's
it.
better than all of them.
I don't have Last Epoch yet, but I've heard that's a pretty good one.
It's the best one to date, in my opinion.
Matt played that on stream a few times, and it was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as they keep making content for it, ESO will just be the game I play all the time. Anyway,
You've got to scratch your neck when you said ESO.
No, but Boss is really very stoic right now, because anytime he gets upset, he just goes back to Spock. And
He had some special
I'm
therapy.
so interested to know how Harlan feels about.
Fuck you and your emotional lobotomy.
Oh, this is gonna be so great.
Now, I say this in absolute sincerity, okay? I've known somebody in my lifetime who was lobotomized. I was a very young child at this point, but my great-grandfather on my mom's side is one of the last people in this country that was medically lobotomized because he was massively paranoid schizophrenic. And the only thing I remember about my great-grandfather is he basically didn't do much unless you asked him to, and then he'd do whatever you asked him to until you stopped doing it with him, and then he'd go sit back down and stare at nothing and do nothing. So, no, definitely not a regular lobotomy like you guys were talking about at the end of the last.
No. I mean, like, so I didn't expect you to. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it to come off like that. It's just call it a brain hack. I guess
it's not. It. She full on severed cause and effect connections within your emotional mindset, okay? That's more than just a brain hack, okay? Because you believe it's always been that way.
Sure.
Which
yeah,
when I realized when you said that, what that means is that's exactly the same thing that she had to do to me. Because I honestly believe I've always been a morally upright, righteously indignant asshole chasing after life tech. When what's really the case is I was probably a far worse corpo than Boss even managed.
Probably.
Just not a fun.
Let's go ahead and slide into that, Harlan. Tell us what's going on inside Harlan's head and everything with this.
Oh, this is a mess. He remained silent basically throughout the entirety of the first day. other than to answer Pinky's questions about Blackstone and the combat train and what went on with the combat train. And
I'll let you go ahead and, from Harlan's perspective, tell her when we go. Yep.
Yeah, we'll do that in RP once we actually get full on into the session.
Exactly.
Beyond that, I'm not going to try to get into that right now.
Sure.
But Harlan has basically gone into shutdown mode because he's trying to process. And this is the first time in a couple of weeks that he's had a moment to be able to just sit. And you guys flicking calf pills back and forth across at each other and arguing back and forth, and Pinky's mints, which I found hilarious, by the way. Pez dispenser finger, what the fuck? He's trying to process because he's wondering how much of even these inborn I have to take life tech down is even his. Is that programming Grandma put in? Is that stuff that was already there? Is that just I'm generally a vindictive bastard and figured that those are the people who did this shit to me, so I'm going to go stomp them into the ground? He's totally questioning every single motivation that he has for doing things. Because remember, the last session that I was here, Harlan made it very clear that he thought he was going to end up taking a one-way trip up to the Life Tech fucking space station with a nuke, with the intention of taking it out, so full-on martyr complex. He's full-on having second thoughts about that because how much of that is his and how much of that's a program? And he can't ask Grandma because Grandma will just tell me I did it for your own good, dearie, and she won't answer the question.
I mean, you could ask her and find out.
That'll clue her into the fact that I might be questioning said programs, and I don't need her to say execute directive blobbity blobbity blah like she did to fucking Ezek last week. And have me go into debug mode, what now, and have her be able to just, no, fuck that. She's already
You can tell the rest of the party in prep,
here.
but yeah, that's a distinct concern. That's legitimate.
Nope, that's something Harlan's probably going to hold real close to the chest. He's going to play it off like nothing's going on, but he's realizing just the level of egg beater that's gone on the inside of his skull in the last 10, 15 years is far greater than what he thought it was. And he doesn't know what to do with that yet. He wants to talk to Grandpa. And then more honestly, you know who he wants to talk to more than anything else? He wants to let Blue take a full look through and tell me what's programmed, what's blocks, what's not. Not to take any of them down, but to just take a look through and answer the question, because I would trust her to answer me honestly. That's what's been rolling through Harlan's head the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understandable. What
From
about
the
Ezek?
outside, he looks like he's
we'll finish up.
napping.
Yeah. What's Ezek doing as Harlan looks to be napping?
Between watching out the window and yeah, probably just tinkering with something, finding something to tinker with, starting to take apart part of the car or something that's immediately in his vicinity, you know, a seatbelt buckle or anything that he can get his hands on to just play with.
I'm assuming you're taking it apart, just putting it back together immediately.
Yeah.
Just fidgeting and fidgeting with it. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think the nomads would give two shits about that, as long as he just puts it back together immediately thereafter.
As long as he puts it back together correctly.
I mean, it's a seatbelt buckle. What's it going to do? Bounce Ezek around in the... Oh, God, that sounds horrible.
All right. What about Puppy? What's going on with you and what's going on with Pinky?
You know, just chilling. This week has been a bit chaos, but you know.
Wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, you know how it is. You know how it is. Went to the flea market today. Brought my dog Charlie. She got to walk around. It was a lot cooler today, so it was perfect for her.
Noise.
And luckily it looked like it was gonna rain the whole time we were there, but luckily it held off. And then rained like later, but we were gone by
Nice.
that point. So, thankfully. And yep. Pinky's just she's just chilling, frustrated with boss a little.
Oh, I did.
Stop.
I did figure something else out that I wanted to point out to Pinky and all of that. Not ever letting Harlan's grandmother anywhere near my head. And you don't want to let her near your head. You need to capture your sister and let her near her head just to take whatever fucking programming is there out.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully that helps.
So
Hopefully
being-
it's not so
She
messed up.
needs to be patted.
no,
That's all
Prepper
you have.
Jack. We will be singing no fucking road trip tunes. Thank you. Don't do it. I will mute you in 2 seconds flat. Okay?
I don't listen, it's not me, right? It suddenly just for some reason just popped into my head and now it's
Uh-huh.
yeah. But yeah. Pinky's just really wanting this trip to be over already.
It's day one.
Day one, and she's already like,
Get over it.
I've already spent. See, part of the reason. Look. All right. We're ready to step full on into the full session
Yeah.
at this point. Oh, all right. So
Take it
at this
away.
point, as everybody, grandma's settling in to go to full sleep the morning of that next day for the beginning of day 2, which is where you guys kind of left off, where I think is where we're at. Would that be accurate, DM?
Yeah, if you didn't want to
Almost.
reverse till when Pinky was asking you questions. Yeah.
No, Harlan will just say not today. We got plenty of time. I'll tell you all about that tomorrow. I'm gonna nap today and think on your sister, on Life Tech, on the omelet that's inside my skull. That's what you got out of him. And then he closed his eyes, and you could tell he literally just turned his hearing off. When you started to pester him again, he just turned his hearing off and literally can't hear you. It's one of the things I love about that. Oh, just shut that off. There.
he can still feel things.
Great. Yes, but you don't punch anywhere near as hard as the goons I've been beaten on by for years. I doubt I'm going to be able to get woke. You might wake me up out of a nap and annoy me. That's about it. So the next morning, as this is going on, I will sit up, stretch real good, look over and say, you wanted to know about Blackstone. Blackstone's as old as I am, or was, or would have been, age-wise. Didn't look it. In fact, I think he might have actually been older for how long his ass was in cryo storage, but I don't know
If
that
you
for
include
certain.
his cryo, yeah, he was.
Okay. And
Years.
Harlan's in his 60s at this point. I mean, he's not a young man. I mean, I picked the
Cryo.
picture. I'll turn and look. It's where they use technology to put you into this very cold sleep where you don't age and you don't, so that they can keep you around. They do it to people sometimes when they're sick, so that they can wait and maybe make them better later because they don't know how to fix them yet. They do it for other people, just like the people they're going to send out on spaceships. They'll freeze them like that too, is what they're talking about. It's just a way to keep people alive for longer. Lots of reasons, most of them really complicated. For most parts, greed and fear of death is most of the reasons. And that's how Harlan will break that down and move on to just give a physical description of Blackstone and say, I met him as one of the people who was ripping open the pod that I was still frozen in, pulling me out along with a bunch of other people when they breached us out of the facility that we've told you about before. And I watched two of his friends get abducted off, and then we hopped into Ajo, another nomad that you've never met's van.
Because he's now in cryo.
Yeah, he's in cryo right now because of the I believe
he's got nano rabies.
Yeah, the nano rabies bullshit. And he's with the danger gals have got him somewhere, I do believe. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. Out in the asshole middle of nowhere, you know?
Yeah.
Where we're driving to right now. Not exactly, but
it was what, in in Iowa somewhere?
No, Utah. We were in Utah.
Oh wow, I thought we were a lot more.
Oh no, we weren't that far. For the amount of time it would have taken for us to get from Iowa over broken roads with nomads like that, you would have been talking months and months of travel at that point to get through for some of the stuff for that.
Damn, we were only in Utah?
Yeah, that still took us like a month and a half to get home. With downtime and healing and finding fuel and gathering food. Yeah.
We can pull the map up and you guys can see it. Give me a minute.
I swear we were farther away.
No, I don't think we were any further east in Utah.
Okay. I thought we got up into Idaho.
Idaho's west.
Maybe.
Yeah, no,
Idaho's
up
west of
into
Utah.
Idaho. I thought we drove from Iowa through Iowa City or through Des Moines or something like that.
No.
Through North Dakota.
Nope.
Pretty far east.
That's pretty far east. I don't think we were anywhere near that far east when we started. But anyway, I'm going to continue while you bring the map up. And we ended up Idaho Falls. Yeah, it was in Idaho. So, it was Utah was the furthest east that we were at.
Okay.
And then into, but we headed west trying to get back. It's where we, at one point, encountered the guy we're going to see right now during that trip.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also where we made friends with the nomads who've been our staunch allies ever since. Ajo was part of that. But the other part of that was when they hired us to take out these miserable scav bastards that they were calling the smokers, and that they had this combat train. And we went through a tremendous amount of things back and forth to set up everything that we needed to do to assault this combat train, from finding and equipping the mechanic with the materials that they needed to build the vehicle for us to assault it the rest of the way, to training, to a bunch of stuff. When we ended up on the combat train, it was a running gunfight, car to car to car. Now, from a character's perspective, how long do you think it would have actually taken from the ass end of the train all the way to the front? We were done. 20
At most
minutes?
an hour.
I
Most
was
an hour.
going to say 45, but yeah.
Yeah, we had a couple times where we got off the train for a short period.
Half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour then? I would say no more than an hour.
Whereas IRL, it took us 3 months.
It was the combat train was a very significant portion
It was 5 episodes, I think. It
No, it was longer than
6
5.
and
was 6. Okay.
that was 8.
I thought it was 6, but I could be
It
wrong.
wasn't
I don't know.
quite
I
8.
didn't count.
It was a while.
Because we lost Shade. And we lost
In the process, in the process of this,
Ezek.
I will give a description of who Blackstone is and what his goal was, seeking out to find his kidnapped parents. Some of the first people that I found records of that are part of these kidnappings that we've been talking about throughout all of what Life Tech's been doing. They're some of the first. So whatever it is they were doing, it started with them. It's why he's been part of an important part of this to me this entire time.
Now, keep in mind, he did tell you his parents were corpos, not what corp that was.
Yeah, no, I didn't ask that. I didn't get the chance to ask that. That was...
He had said he didn't know what corp it was.
Gee, I wonder if it was Daimler.
No,
No, it wasn't.
something else.
I thought I had already found records that said that they were Life Tech.
They were Life Tech affiliated indirectly, like they had some dealings with them, and Life Tech apparently decided at some point to disappeared them. That was the primary records. Was, hey, this is a threat. Execute threat removal. Threat remediation. We remediated the threat. It's no longer a threat.
And we did a tremendous amount of things before we got to the combat train, from the Biotechnica hilariousness
That
to
was in Arcadia.
the Arcadia
You wanna go back to
Biotechnica
Arcadia?
hilariousness.
No, I don't want to go back to Arcadia.
And I'm giving just
Why not?
brief rundowns
I'd
of
set
these
that fucking
stories.
place on fire.
Yeah, I don't
You've
think
never
you'd
been there,
have a
boss.
problem with Biotechnica, boss. You just view them as a competitor, and that might be a
Yeah,
reason.
they're a competitor, so they get lit on fire. Nah, it's fine.
Daimler and
Healthy competition
Biotechnica
never
do
hurt
different
anybody.
stuff.
I know, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't think many of the corps practice healthy competition.
No,
No.
as unhealthy as possible. But, and then I will give kind of a running gun story of how the combat train went.
Oh boy.
From my friend Shade, from our I don't know if Harlan would call Shade a friend. My associate Shade,
He wasn't part of the group for very long.
yeah, an associate of
The
ours, Shade.
rampant incompetence drove him away. His goal had been met.
It was what, like 3 sessions?
No,
It was-
more than that.
It was a little
most
bit
of the
more,
combat
but
train. I mean, it was like half the combat train that he was there for,
Yeah.
at least.
There until shortly after Zid decided to blow up his allies.
Yeah, and then we had that incident where Zid, in the middle of that, rolled a 1 with his grenade launcher.
Landed the grenade at Blackstone's feet and hit Harlan in the process.
And hit me in the process and killed Blackstone just absolutely outright. He did not get a chance to do
Decimated
anything other than to do the one save that he gets to try to survive, which he then failed.
I mean,
Which
like,
he
there
then-
was
which he
nobody
then
to so.
lucked. Which he then lucked and then failed
And
again.
then, yeah. Like,
I
so.
This was we all kind of looked over and everybody in the room kind of went, oh no, Asriel's lost his first character, because it happens to everybody.
I mean, yeah, but like, so it was my
We
turn.
lost him to friendly fire.
So it was my turn. I did what I was gonna do. Then it was Zid's turn.
No, you were going right after Zid.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
And so
because
that's
no
why
one,
your death
because
save
no one could stabilize me.
Right, there was no action where somebody
really
could
sucked.
take a
Yep.
chance to stabilize.
Now I'm standing there as Harlan, already fairly low on my humanity. I get sprayed with my friend via another friend's grenade. Yeah. They're
It was
both
a
my
shit
friends.
show.
That was all.
Fight was
when-
a shit show.
When Malkov described that from Shade's point of view as an utter incompetence moment, and it wasn't Zid's fault, He rolled a one.
Matt's fault.
It happened.
Definitely Zid's fault. It was 100% Zid's fault.
Okay.
Matt's never gonna want to play with us anymore because we keep like shitting on the.
No, I can say it's not Matt's fault.
I said it's not Matt's fault. It's 100% Zid's fault, and that's because Zid chose to continue to use the grenade launcher in such tight quarters.
It was so bad decision making. It's like one target.
It was okay when we
How
were
do you think he
shooting
got
grenades at
affiliated
the
with
far
Knockall?
end.
What?
Oh yeah, did you remember Knockall? This. How do you think he? This is
never
part
heard
of his Knockall. Knockall was the nomad that. He ended up with the
Reclaimer.
scavengers.
Reclaimer.
He had to put the reclaimers, yeah. Oh my god. This guy's a lunatic. Like dropping mines, grenades all over the place. When we asked him about a nuke, he asked us whether we were talking kiloton or megaton range and whether we had the eddies for that, because he could line something up. He's also batshit crazy and about 75 to 80% cyberware because of a incident with explosives that went bad on a job.
Over and over and over and over and over.
No. That's just mainly just the one.
Why do we keep giving Zid explosives?
That's what he does.
Well, how do you stop him? I mean, just like a cat on the countertop, you can stop them when you're present. When you're not present, that cat's gonna do whatever the fuck he wants, and you don't care about your rules. Or drag his asshole across your counter like a dog on the carpet if it wants to. Never hesitate to do it. We all know this. I can't stop you from doing anything, Pinky, unless I'm present. You gonna like attach yourself to Zid at the hip so that he can't do that anymore?
No, that just
Tried
sounds
to.
a good idea for him to give up any explosives he has before we go into a situation.
I don't know
You
if
know,
you
where
had the grenades,
close quarters.
We had quite good use of those grenades in the fight.
Train yard?
No, before the train yard. Parking lot.
Yeah.
Shipping area.
Yeah.
Now, launching the grenade in tight quarters against a single target was not the best decision.
Blackstone agrees.
No, he doesn't. He would, but he doesn't.
He doesn't agree with anything anymore.
Posthumously, Blackstone agrees from wherever he
I
is.
think Zed's actually using his arm.
What about
because Zed
Inkwell
lost
and
his arm in
Blackstain?
that fight too. Yeah, another aspect of that fight was Zid lost his arm in that fight.
Yes.
He got shot off when we were breaching the next car, and that was just like, Dave was just like, you're literally falling apart. Fuckers need to pull yourselves together. Then we rescued the hostages, and he's like, I'm out. I don't need to deal with this anymore.
Bye.
People are insane.
Later, haters.
He was actually, I created that character as a legitimate professional.
Yeah, no, and he's.
This was like, what is this clown show? I
This
was like, I need a character that's a little more freewheeling and goofy.
Hey, I at this point managed to stay fairly professional throughout that entire circumstance, as much as I could, being splattered with my friend.
But Blackstone also was like, kept going and sticking himself in front of everybody's
Yeah, I
fire.
kept trying to tank and that didn't work.
And like standing in the open, and it's like, why are you not in cover?
I mean, like,
Don't
but like,
tank in Cyberpunk. You don't tank in Cyberpunk.
You dodge.
I'm just okay. I mean, I just kept trying to like.
And
shoot
as
shit.
well, you didn't know that at the time. This is one of your first characters. Nobody here is criticizing you
Literally
for
my first character.
that at
Yeah, no.
all.
We're not criticizing
We
you.
watched that learning process, and we tried to guide it so that we'd be like, hey, seek cover every time. If you can take a single shot and then seek cover. Don't worry about 7 shots. Don't worry about 2 shots. Seek cover.
Don't
we
even
kept
worry about
doing
a
it.
shot sometimes. Just
If you
get
have
to
to seek
cover.
cover. You watched what the auto fire did to me on a couple of occasions.
Watched what auto fire did to Nathan, and I was like, okay, we're gonna have to like perform like surgery, like field surgery, because holy crap, Nathan's arm got like completely taken off.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and this is kind of how this works. Now, we buried Blackstone after the combat train at the foot of a tree. You know, planted a tree on him. I don't remember what kind what it was. Somebody said
Like
something
a palm
about
tree.
No, it was a fruit tree of some kind, I thought. That's what the nomads wanted to plant. They planted something that's going to produce food.
Probably hard nuts.
Hey, keep in mind, I've already set up what they're doing with my body when I'm done. I'm being dehydrated and I'm getting planted at the bottom of a chestnut tree. So yeah, eat my nuts after I'm gone, guys.
Oh boy.
I'm not kidding. That entire funeral costs me $600 in the transport of my body from here to where they do it.
Wow.
Like IRL?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know if it was like you or Harlan.
This
Okay.
meat sack isn't. This meat sack's not important after I'm gone. Come on now. Not at all. Anyhow.
Well, Harlan's gonna get blown up.
Well, Harlan discusses everything that goes along with this. And remember, Harlan's telling you all this. He's like, and remember, Harlan didn't know anything of these things about himself. All he knew was that he was trying to help the kidnapped people and figure out what was going on enough with Life Tech to take them down. Now that he has found all of the fact of the programming and tinkering that's been going on inside of his skull, what he really wants to know is, who is he with zero conditioning? Because that could be really fun or really, really scary for the party, depending. How many levels of multi-class corpo am I not having access to right now, DMX?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. I have 30 years or so worth of life experience that have just been severed off of who I am. That it's not like it's not there. I just don't have the skills that go along with it because of that. I had to basically start over afterward.
Lay down.
Now,
Go lay down.
that's how the shit show with the combat train went, and that's what we've been that's the goodwill we've got with the nomads, because when all was said and done, we basically just said, happy combat train, here you go, you can basically pay us back in favors and merchandise and place to stay, and basically we've been adopted by a nomad clan as de facto members without having the huge responsibility of actually being full members. They'll want our help occasionally, but not like they would with a full other clan member.
Yeah, because they evaluated the amount you helped them.
Mm-hmm. And we
And
also,
then we would
when
have
they,
helped during downtime and stuff, we would have been helping a lot of the chapters.
yeah, I mean, these are people that were, okay, I'm going to say it flat out. In a cyberpunk universe, when you find people that are good to you without any real reason to do so other than they're just being good to you, you be good back to them unless you're a shitbag who's going to take advantage of them.
Corpo.
Yeah, corpo media, some medias, some solos. I mean, some fixers. It doesn't really matter what class it is. It has more to do with the moral bend of, I'm going to manipulate this for my own end.
I was just saying that that's,
You know?
that trait is very much corpo trait.
Yeah, well, it's not so much that it's a corporate trait, is that it's a necessity to do if you're going to exist within the corporate world. Otherwise,
Right.
you're food and fuck.
Which is why I said corpo trait, because it's almost a requirement if you're an existing corpo to have.
So, after all of that, I will look at Pinky and go, does that explain combat train well enough for you? Did you
That's
have
a
other
lot.
questions about
That's a lot
stuff?
to take in.
Wow, you guys really been through a lot, eh?
Just a bit.
Train was fun.
Parts of the train.
To be fair,
Parts
Boss
of the
didn't
train was fun.
Boss didn't really find the train fun. I mean,
Lots of squishing.
Boss just had to fucking be there, and he. Ugh.
Harlan
As
had
they
no
get
problems.
people through holes too small for them to fit through.
Yeah, he literally shoved them through windows they would not have physically fit through till they fit anyway. It was gross.
Toothpaste.
Toothpaste through a tube, you know.
Lots of crunch. Lots of crunch. Lots of crunch.
Okay, didn't need to know that, but hey,
I believe the line that sums that up best comes from the original Resident Evil. Something very wet sounding happens to Wesker, and then the noise that comes afterwards is so utterly repulsive and perfectly described by
One of the
that.
best sounds of video gaming of all time.
I was just like,
And it's contrasted in the same series by Wesker, where have you been?
the worst voice acting of almost any video game
The
ever.
first game was so bad. The words that it was terrible.
I know you played that Puffy, so you know exactly what we're talking about.
I've never played a Resident Evil game.
Oh, the first one's amazing.
The
And so
first
was
couple,
that the fourth one?
I love
it's
the
the
first.
first. I want to say the first 4 of them are excellent, and once you get to the 5th one, there's like a multiplayer mode in the 5th one that's worth playing. Otherwise, that game's a fucking shit show. And I haven't played anything beyond that. So
I played 1 and I think it was 3 or 4.
I played 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like I said, the first 4 of them were worth playing. The 5th game had a multiplayer mode in it that was worth playing, and then the 6th game they changed it from being they just changed it into another first-person shooter at that point, because you're basically able to run and aim at the same time like any other first-person shooter. And that's not how Resident Evil ever worked before that. I don't consider it a Resident Evil game from that point on.
Is that the one in the bayou?
No, the one in the bayou is there's lots of swampland in the one in Africa. I don't know which one it is. It
I mean, there's
might
one
be
like
the one.
there's the werewolf one. That's like 8.
God,
Do we want to
no clue.
get
Well,
back
yeah.
into Cyberpunk?
Yeah,
It's all
we
right.
need to redirect. No, you're good. Hey, Angel.
So, back in this world of this lovely driving through the Badlands, Pinky just got this lovely drop of intel from Blackstone.
Drop.
About
Blackstone
Blackstone and the Blackstone, the combat train, which is intertwined with the fate of Blackstone.
I think I did. I think I asked about both because I kept hearing about Blackstone and the combat train.
You asked
I'm
about
sorry.
something else last week too. I'm trying to remember what it was.
I asked
Blue,
something
I
about
think.
Blue.
Yeah, and
I
if you
don't know
ask
anything
me
about that one.
anything about Blue, my answer to you will be
Talk to
you
Zid.
should. No. My answer will be you should talk to Blue about that. She answers questions pretty freely, but I'm not gonna. That's not mine to give away.
So I would say, like, yes, talk to Blue, but also get Zid's perspective, because Blue lived in Zid's brain for 3 months.
Well, hold on.
Longer.
Outside of character, how many people here actually still fully know that Blue is an AI? I know I do. I know that Zid does. I know that Boss is pretty sure of it by now.
Boss
I mean,
is
like, he, like-
suspicious.
I mean,
But-
but like he saw, like, whenever we were doing the fight with the whatever the dude, like the big bad dude, like the scab guy, like she was out there and she was in her like body, and she didn't have, like, there was no meat.
Right.
It's standard FCB. It's a standard FCB though. You would know that.
FCB, you would never be able to see the
Or
meat
FBC,
anyway.
full body
Yeah,
conversion.
Yeah, full body conversion.
He knows.
FCB is a full
FBCs
conversion
are
forward,
something
and that's
people
a
can
different
get.
thing.
I think he knows a little
Right.
because the first interactions he had was over Zid's phone.
Everybody's
Ezek
first
just doesn't check.
interactions. Yeah, and Ezek has no concept of the real difference between an artificial intelligence and a regular person that he's talking to, so he doesn't give two
Yeah.
shits.
I mean, they're both
We should
sentient.
ask them questions. I forget what questions I asked.
And the reason I say that is because, boss, I don't think you have the information for certain that Blue existed in Zid's brain. You as a player absolutely do. But as a character, I'm not sure if boss knows that, because I will say it flat out.
Yeah.
Harlan's kept that, absolutely keeps his mouth fucking shut about that 100%, unless he's talking with Zid directly, with Blue directly, and Blue's the one that I basically don't have conversations about that unless I knew Blue is okay with who I'm talking to about it.
Sure.
The reason for that is just her existence, plus anybody else who actually knows what she is existence is at stake versus Netwatch if she were to be discovered. I'm not sharing it out of I'm gonna hide information. It's if you know and they find out you're part of the network of people that know, you're dead. Just like everybody else involved, we're all fucking dead. They'll drop a fucking asteroid on the city if they have to.
Yeah. And that's actually one of the benefits of her being in FBC now, is that she looks like she's just an FBC person.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you are able to somehow figure it out, nobody knows.
And Harlan's not shared it. I don't think Zid, and I know Zid has kept that shit zip absolutely closed. I think maybe I can't remember her name. Militech gal's name is again
Brenna.
I think
Brianna.
Brianna, she may know what Blue is, because I think Blue
Brianna
may
and
have shared.
Iggy might, since they're now in team with her.
But I'm also it's not my job to keep out of that.
Right. So you don't know if they know or not. You know your grandma knows. Pretty much that's it.
I told Grandma directly because she knew Grandpa had been working on AI-like projects. She didn't know he'd fucking taken them to completion.
So,
Shade
so
was in the
doesn't
car when that was discovered.
Yep,
Isn't-
Shade was there for that. Yep.
so isn't Blue's voice Grandma's old voice? Is that
No.
it? Okay.
She is artificial, so she can actually basically utilize
Okay. Like create her own
audio
voice
clips
almost.
to create. Yeah.
That was what her voice was when we first started. That's why she creeped Harlan out so badly in the first place.
That's
Because
right.
Grandpa had programmed her to have Grandma's voice from the voice samples he had as a reminder. I remember that session. That Harlan was creeped the fuck out by that. Why are you talking to me with my grandmother's fucking voice, you creepy bitch? Who the fuck are you? Not okay with that.
And then when you found out, you're like, oh, well, that's where you got it from. I guess that makes sense.
Well, no shit. She explained it, and I was just like, oh, well, that. Yeah, nothing to do about
I
it.
didn't choose my voice.
So,
Your grandpa picked. Have fun.
Yeah. The problem with that is, look, I already figured my knowledge of Blue was enough to put me on a death mark by Netwatch completely. That was long before I, as a player, was aware that there's alien nanotechnology was used to bring my ass back to life and deprogram me. Man, I'm on so many different people's vivisect if caught list.
Like
And I do mean vivisect, because they're going to want every bit of it, not dissection.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why the
So-
new
Dismantle.
space station seemed preferable.
like, so Harlan, like you are literally a walking illegality.
And I tell everybody everything about what's going on with it, which that's one of the things that I'm doing, by the way, while we're in this car, is writing up the full expose story on what my grandmother did, what my grandfather did, all of it. The whole docu-series expose story, writing up everything that I need for that, you know, so that it's all ready to go to be set to be released upon, you know, whenever is necessary. Remember, Harlan's reached that point where even though his humanity hasn't dropped real low or anything like that, he wants Life Tech to come down, but he doesn't really care whether the rest of the world burns in the process.
Yeah.
He's at that Joker level mentality for that. He just doesn't care.
And that's the funny thing. That's where you and Blue
How
differ
are you
greatly.
not at like zero humanity?
Because I'm at peace with what I'm doing.
And he's gotten lots of therapy.
Yeah.
Look, you can be the most brutal contract killer in the world. And as long as you're at peace with what you've chosen to be, you'll sleep at night. Just like those monsters from various wars can still sleep at night, even though of the things that they were responsible for, because they've just justified it to themselves. I'm not saying what Harlan's done is right. It's just what he's done.
So I just had a thought, out of character. So in character, boss. We all know, or at least I think we all know that like he's trying this whole, not good corpo thing, but like trying to steer, like turn the wheel around and do a little redemption arc. So
Steer away from the pricktastic.
sure. So Harlan, you used to be, according to yourself and like all the people that knew you, your grandmother, used to be an absolute hyper asshole corpo, like
Horror of a human being, yeah.
You are a horror. Okay, so that is not quite what boss is or was. Because he's at the point where he's not willing to do just about everything. Like, I think boss's like turning point was being sent to the combat train and basically being sent to retrieve an asset that didn't want to be retrieved. And he basically got set up for failure by his mom. Thanks, Mom. So I am going to come to Harlan and seek advice. This
Best
is
interest.
not. This is not standard operating procedure for boss in the slightest. I would like to know, aside from needing to have alien tech rebuild you and bring you back to life, how you were able to just flip a switch like that, aside from maybe grandma fucking with your head.
And I'm gonna go like this and point at you. I am not sure how much of all of my reactions aren't some sort of conditioning that's been put in to prevent me from being who I used to be. How much of those things that I did in the past as a corpo were conditioning built into me in the first place. Life Tech does that to its people. Daimler doesn't, from what I've seen of you, do anywhere near as intensive of that as what goes on at Life Tech. Because of that, I wish I could answer you, but I can give you one very simple piece of advice. You know that ingrained corpo reflex that you have of it has to make a profit and it has to benefit the corporation?
Yeah.
Change that to it has to benefit humankind, and profit is subjective only to whether it's a benefit to every person on the planet. You can manage that? You're not a corpo anymore.
Holy mother of God, that is a tall ask.
I'm pretty sure that's what the previous me asked Grandma to program into me, because that's the only way that I work.
Okay.
You could always ask me if you want, dearie. Right here.
So this is boss.
You're gonna tell me the truth, or are you gonna tell me it was stupid for me? No. He stopped looking at you. As soon as Grandma spoke up, because she's been pretending like she was sleeping this entire time. From having Taylor do it. Okay.
Well, Harlan, I always tell
no.
you the truth.
How much of what's here is me, or what I ask you to do to me?
Your body or your mind?
My body is inconsequential in this circumstance.
Okay. Well, then your mind. That's just needed to make sure I understood. It's pretty much all you. You made your choices, made your own decisions after. You kind of had a really bad experience right after you're coming to with your sister. And I think that's kind of what made you snap and go against the corp.
What did that crazy bitch do?
Think back, you don't remember? She just acted like a corpo. And when you weren't one, you hated it. I believe I could be wrong, it's been a while. I believe your quote was something like, how can anyone be such a mindless robotic freak? Something to that regard.
Sounds like something. That definitely sounds like something I would say. No, I don't recall that because, like you said, it's part of the whole trauma of the initial. But
reawakening, yeah. I thought you might, but I didn't know if you did for
Grandma,
certain.
is it possible to access those skills without touching that morality? Because they're segmented off.
I think it's just all gone.
Okay, they just got burnt. Great.
So
That means that I can literally look at all of you and say, I've forgotten more than most of you have known.
Great.
And I'm gonna laugh. What's up, boss?
No, I'm not talking to you this time. I'm talking to Grandma. So first, I want to say thank you. Thank you for doing what you did in my head. Second, can we modify it just a little? Can I have maybe the Harlan treatment as opposed to the I get upset and go Spock treatment?
Sure. Ezek, are you ready to kill someone?
Okay.
Look, you have to die to get what happened to me done.
Yeah, what he said.
Is there like a non-dying version?
Not to have his same treatment. I mean, that kind of was it.
Kill who? Who do I get to kill?
Well, hold on, we might not.
Time out.
Hold on, Ezek. That was a hypothetical, which means it's a maybe, and we don't know if we need it to happen yet.
No. We're not gonna.
Sorry.
No, we're not
I'll
killing.
reach out, pat him on the shoulder. Sorry.
We are not killing, boss. There is no
You
boss
want another
killing
mid, buddy?
going on.
Sure, dearie, I'll try one.
Okay, so
Here you go.
there are pros and cons. I do like the lack of being upset. I do like that very much. The con is the response, like the complete and utter, even apathetic. That's
I'm going to look right at you and say, cold and passionless is a corpo's best friend. What are you talking about? And I'm going to cringe real hard at that point, because that's something that just made it back through from who I used to be. You know, and I look right at you and say, wow. I turn and look right at Grandma and go, I really didn't care about anything other than whether the numbers balanced out at the end of the day, did I?
Say that again. Sorry, I was dealing with my son.
And what I said was, I was like, wow, I really didn't care about anything at all back then, other than whether the numbers at the end of the day balanced out.
Pretty much. That's why you didn't like your sister when you reawakened. They took my training regime to a completely different way than it was intended to be.
Yeah.
I'm not. Boss is not. Well, no, actually, I take that back. He probably is. Have your cake and eat it too. God damn it! I can't. Like, I can't do both. I cannot do both, and it hurts.
Remember,
it mentally hurts.
Remember, you have to look at it from boss's perspective.
No, I know. I was saying that as boss.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
Yeah,
I can't do both. I have to either be a corporate asshole or not a corporate asshole.
I mean, you don't have to be a corporate asshole, but then you're just not going to be one at all.
No, exactly. Like if there is no such thing as
you'll be a
corporate non-asshole.
Paper pusher.
Yeah, and that's not any kind of existence that I want to be a part of.
I will be back.
All right, so go ahead. So I am going to make. I'm going to make a really weird choice. Grandma, can you undo what you did?
Well, possibly?
I don't think that I can be who I am without being passionate and frustrated and pissed off.
Are you sure? Who are you?
Like literally who am I, or like who am I as a person?
Yeah, both.
Well, I mean, I'm my mom works for Daimler and I work for somebody else. I used to work for my mom, but I also work at Daimler.
That doesn't tell me who you are. Tells me what you do.
Like my name?
No.
I don't understand.
The fact that you have a problem with the question explains that. How much you don't even know your own self, so how do you know it's not you?
I think they're trying to ask who you are as a person.
Well,
Harlan's just going to look over at you, boss, and go, no, you're not having that undone. Remember, when you change things, when you change them back, they're not always going to be quite right. And if she puts you back to being passionate like that, you might go the other way further than what you expected. Grandma, you should explain to him the actual risks involved in what he asked, rather than
just I don't know the actual risks. It's undetermined.
Well,
it's based on his own mind.
Oh my fucking god! Like, that's a problem. Like, why didn't you say that before? Like, you don't know the risks? Like, you're the one that invented this shit. What the fuck?
There are no risks.
I just deadpan because I've started to go into frustration mode, and so I'm like,
So why did you not tell me?
Yeah, that.
Why didn't you warn me of those risks?
Like I hear her say, well, I don't know what the risks are, and then like immediately it's Spock, because like it just ticked like trigger event, like, oh my god.
She's like,
so
I
fucking
told
mad.
you that it could be done. I didn't say there weren't side effects. You didn't ask about the side effects. And
tried to tell
there's
you,
no
it
way to
wasn't a
know
good
the
idea.
exact side effects because every brain is different. Pinky, what?
I tried to tell you it wasn't a good idea.
Does anybody have any sleep medication or sleep stuff that I can use to like just
do.
completely get knocked the hell out? No, 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 no.
Sure.
Deadpan, no.
It's in the seat partially behind you, and I'm gonna, as soon as you turn your head, make motions to Ezek to sleep or hold you. I'm just kidding.
Okay, that's fine. No, I just.
I mean,
like,
Ezek did hear him ask if there's anything to help him sleep.
So like like the conversation that we're having, like my emotions are doing this, like, and so I'm like spocking, then I'm like not, then I'm spocking, then I'm not, then I'm spocking, then I'm not, and like my brain is just about to shut off.
No, this is normal. Remember, that's the problem. That's the problem that I think you as a player are having with this. From your character's perspective, how you are right now is how you've always been. You don't believe that there is a difference. Like Diamond X said at the end of last session.
Sorry, yeah.
He
I mean,
thought-
yeah.
He
Okay.
thought, like, you're like, she must have not done anything.
Yeah,
This
no,
is how
yeah,
I've always
I just
been.
remembered that. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Which is also why the way I've been right up until just now, when I'm realizing that how much of that was programmed and how much of that is not real. And I don't know. I mean, I want to trust my grandmother. She just told me 90% of it or more of it was me than anything else. But
Yeah, that was a really important thing that I just completely forgot. So okay.
yeah, that's why I was reminding you of it.
I
Because
appreciate that. So yeah, I obviously I'm not going to ask you to undo shit because nothing. You didn't do anything. This is just who I am, and
I mean, everyone else tells you you're different.
cold
you don't.
and logical can be, in some cases, far, far scarier than angry.
thanks, pre-alien Harlan.
No, that's Mix talking to you.
Yeah.
And I say that because from a dungeon master or a game master's perspective, someone who's playing a, say, if you use the D&D trope alignments, a chaotic evil alignment, not particularly scary. Now, the lawful evil who can get along with, work within a structure, exploit situations, most corpos from that perspective, because they do things within that structure, would fall under a lawful evil setup. They follow the corporation's codes, and they don't care about who they hurt as long as they're getting the corporation's goals done. Now, neutral evil is, we're just gonna fuck things up and do bad shit just because, and there doesn't need to be any structure or rules involved in that. You get neutral evil. Neutral evil are people like the random serial killer who decides that they're gonna pick on this town or area for 6 or 7 months because look at all the good stuff that happened there last year. You can have
So like, so the yeah, I mean, like, Heath Ledger's
Cold.
Joker is chaotic evil.
well, yes, I would
Watch
say
the
that.
world burn.
Yeah, however, the problem is that he's chaotic evil and can still come up with a plan. Real chaotic evil people don't. They are truly incapable of actually executing a structured plan very well. Then now, 3-2-3 plan, probably okay. If the third
Take
step
knife.
is a step that might create
Use knife.
frustration,
Disappear.
you now have
I
a
can do
problem.
that.
Yeah. It also depends on whether or not that plan achieves their own personal goals as well. Cold and logical, that's lawful neutral. That's straight up, I follow the rules of what I have like that, and I try to just make those rules make everything work. There's no emotion involved in that. It's all about rules. I'm sure there's plenty of corporations in reality right now that think they operate that way, where in most cases they're actually being evil without sometimes even being aware of it. As a corpo, you don't have to be passionate. You really truly don't, you know?
Yeah, you just have to follow the corpo creed.
Actually, could be, as he said, better to be cold, because if anything bothers you in a corpo meeting,
Yeah.
you're not going to get angry about it. You're just going to be like, that is an unacceptable choice.
And I think you're viewing going cold as shutting down, and that's not the same thing. It's not the same thing, in my opinion.
Your
I mean, you
emotions
can
shut
choose to
down.
play it that way,
But it's not what you don't shut down.
there have been many times in my own personal life where if I had been able to just flip a switch and turn my own emotions off, things would have gone way, way better for me. In most cases, things associated with my temper
Like
and frustration.
instead of throwing the cup at them, you don't throw the cup at them.
Exactly. Things associated with my temper that have been my own personal fuck-ups that would have saved me time, money, effort, energy. However, I don't necessarily want it at the cost of somebody tinkering in my brain and emotional makeup. I had that happen because it had to, or I was gonna die. Or as she decided to do it as I came out because she didn't really want it for fixing me because she didn't want me to stay how I was. Thanks, Grandma. I do appreciate that, by the way.
Oh, dear, yeah, actually, it was interesting. Their wirings actually seemed to get messed up upon death. So, revitalizing you actually just removed the wiring. It's very interesting. So that's why I said I could, if we kill him and we bring him back, it should fix his wiring.
Wait a minute. Do you think that simply restarting somebody's heart, like letting them go to just shutting their heart off and then turning it back on, do you think that would be sufficient?
We could try it on someone.
Puppy. Or Pinky, your sister. Like, let's just like restart her heart and maybe it'll like undo the wiring.
She's already made us promise we're not going to try to kill her sister.
It's not killing, it's just restarting her heart. It's a little
It is
different.
killing
Chance
first.
that she's not gonna come back.
It is killing first. Your semantics and word game don't fly there.
What about if we put her in cryostasis? I mean, technically,
that's not
technically
killing
her heart is not beating when she's in cryostasis.
Yeah, but I was in cryostasis at least once while this was going on, and there was no that didn't affect my corpo shit. Oh, I'm sorry, it didn't. There's nothing I can do about
That's
that.
fine.
It is what it is.
Fine. I'm just trying to help out Pinky. I don't want her sister to kill us. I want her sister to be her sister again. I don't want to have to kill her.
Kinda sounds differently.
I'm just gonna go. I have no intention on killing Puppy's sister unless I have no other choice for my own survival. In that, Puppy, I can't.
Self-defense. Yeah, I mean, self-defense.
I
Like,
can't give you anything better than that. I'm sorry.
I mean, like,
I'm sorry.
yeah, we gotta defend ourselves, Pinky. She comes in. I mean, she's already come after me. Like, she sent us a picture of her standing in front of my house.
What are you talking about? She sent me a picture of her standing over your bed. You drool when you sleep, by the way. Harlan's not even gonna crack a smile. He's not gonna. No, he's just gonna say that and move on. Boss is like, okay, I'm done with all your guys' bullshit. I'm gonna sleep the rest
Next
of this
time you
trip."
fall asleep, you get poked in like the corner of your mouth, like about 10, 15 minutes after you fall asleep. Poke, 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 just to see if it's wet.
As long as you don't put my hand in warm water,
Awesome.
I'm fine.
No, we don't need the inside of the vehicle smelling like piss. Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you. Ah.
I've never had that done to me, by the way. Thank goodness.
Look, no, thankfully, no. That's not one. I mean, I have had my brothers do the fucking shaving cream, palm full of your hand, and palm for your hand, and tickle you. They've done that shit to me. They didn't like my response because I didn't use shaving cream. I used a fucking hand. No, they're older than me. 7 years older than me. I wouldn't get away with that.
Okay.
When I did the same thing back to them, I did a hand palm full of Vaseline, not fucking
That's
shaving.
awesome.
You're gonna have a lot harder time washing that shit off, you prick. He did. When I tickled him, he was just like, he tickled right here, and he just went, fucking just right up, packed his fucking nasal cavities with fucking Vaseline, and fucking had to blow it back. He snorted himself back awake, blowing Vaseline out of his nose. I got fucking slapped silly for that shit. Still worth it. Still worth it to this goddamn day.
Oh boy.
Moral of the story: Nuts is a vindictive person. Don't mess with him. Kidding.
The answer is, my sense of retaliation is slightly broken. I mean, it's not broken enough to require medication. Like, I mean, yeah, I get mad, I'll throw a cup at somebody in traffic. I'm not going to drag them out of their car and beat them up. But for pranks, I'm going to do something bad enough that if I didn't like what you did, I'm going to do something worse enough that you're not going to want to retaliate back. My brother never came after me for that other than to slap me around for forcing him to put Vaseline up his goddamn nose. He told me he smelled that shit for a week.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I try not. I try to stay away from practical jokes because it's really easy to take it too far. Like, well, why would you do that when you can just amp it up to the nth degree? And oh wait, probably shouldn't go that far.
I've lost friendships over this kind of shit. That's why I try not to participate in them, or I only choose to participate in them with people I know that will only take it far enough or deal with it well enough. Like, Volkov's been my friend a long time. Me and him don't play pranks on each other because we both don't enjoy them. They're not fun at that point. They're kind of mean and vicious.
I don't get mad, I get even.
Yeah, it's not fun at that point.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
So,
Fuck off! Oh my god. I'm gonna re-roll that. Fuck off.
you sure?
Yeah. That's much better. This is
But
to
ones
see
are fun.
if this is to see if either of Harlan has never really had a reason to lie to boss. Like, I mean, not that I know of. But this is kind of like to see if Grandma is treating me as an experiment or if she's trying to help.
You should just ask.
No, I don't want to ask. I want to like try and glean
Do you know
this because
Do you know what the answer is?
both.
Grandma treats everything as an experiment.
Yeah,
Every single thing she's ever done since in her whole life has been an experiment. What's this gonna do?
I really hope that deadpanning my anger is going to be helpful, because if it's not, I'm not going to last much longer. Anyway, I mainly just
answer
wanted
is-
to come up with something to try and roll because we haven't rolled anything in a long time.
Remember. Here's one of those things that a lot of people forget. Just because you become cold doesn't stop you from being angry. It stops you from being reckless while you are angry. That's the difference. You are cold
Keep in mind,
and dispassionate and
Spock still
Spock.
did stuff when you upset
So,
him.
so to be fair,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
actually like, so this is actually probably a net positive for boss.
Depends on
I
your
believe it is.
perspective.
I mean, it's really not gonna, like, he's not really gonna have any issues with human resources for like trying to like get upset with his coworkers and beat the hell out of them. I mean, if anything, he's just gonna like hire hitmen to go after them instead, behind their backs.
I'll do it.
I know you will, and I will pay you in ballistics.
I
I'll
will
pay
give
you in
you
explosives.
4 grenades if you go and squash this guy.
1000%. But that, and honestly, like that's kind of part of the reason why I'm trying to like rebuild the bridge with Ezek. Like we got off to a really bad start, and now that I have this new perspective that I don't realize that I have, by the way, I kind of realized that I should have maybe done things a bit differently on the combat train, and instead of treating him as a thing, I should have treated him as a person.
and you stepped out of being a corpo. As soon as you just said that, you just viewed another human being as a person.
Instead of an asset.
Yep, you're not a corpo anymore. Sorry, ex-corpo. Put it well.
You're not really a human being.
You're a constructed being. He just treated another sentient being like it's got feelings. He's not a corpo anymore.
I mean, he's debatably sentient. He's mostly sentient.
Mostly sentient.
So what I'm gonna,
I will look at Grandma and say, Grandma, I have known many gutter trash winos that are sentient and way worse off than Ezek is.
so that 4 or that 12 rather is to try and I don't know. Not really from a not befriend, but like try and like begin to rebuild the relationship between myself and Ezzy. From a like
So,
I don't know,
12.
presenting like I'm presenting myself and I'm trying to show and feel remorse about how things started, which is extremely anti-corpo.
Probably gonna fall a little flat when you're using words. Actions will mean more.
Yeah.
Well, I can't really do a lot right now, unfortunately. Like
The situation isn't going to allow for much progress
So-
there because words are going to, for the most part, fail because you can't use any complex words or.
and see, and because whenever I first met Ezek, I didn't realize the extent to which I had to
When I
simplify things. I was going to use the double D word, and I was like, no, we're not going to do that. I didn't realize how much I needed to simplify things for him. But after having worked with him, not the other way around, having worked with him for these past few weeks, months, whatever, I have a changed perspective, and I will. Yes, I agree that actions are more important. But you have to start with words.
Then the simplest way for that boss, may I suggest, would be simply looking at him, looking over at Ezek at one point and just going, you know, I've been mean to you. You say I talk too much, so sorry about that. Just stop talking.
What he
5, 6
said.
words. 5, 6, 7 words. Keep it very simple. I view when I try to have Harlan speak directly to Ezek like I am talking to a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
It's also playing a video game at the same time.
Yeah.
So first,
Yeah,
it's be very direct with what I need, and hope that it's in the same direction of what they want. Because
Yeah, it's
otherwise,
something
we're
like-
not going to get
So the
a good
response they'll
result.
get is after about maybe 30 seconds of like eyeballing you. Okay, and pat you on the top of the head like 3 times, almost not quite patronizingly,
That's fine. I get it.
but it comes off as patronizing.
That's fine. I don't get up. I don't show any kind of upset. I mean,
These things these things don't bother you anymore, isn't it?
they
nice?
really don't. Like, I might like you might hear like a deadpanned. You might see my face change, like I'm thinking about saying something that's negative, but then I think for like 2 more seconds because I'm thinking about what I say before I say it now, and I just do a thumbs up.
And while that's all going on with Ezek, I will have leaned over to Pinky and said, yeah, I don't know how much of what's been done inside of my brain here is actually me. Grandma says it is, but I think I'm going to ask Blue when we get back. But we know whoever
Does
had
she
a
have
hold of
neural
your
scanners?
sister. Hold on. Whoever had a hold of your sister has done some kind of treatment along this method. And Grandma knows how to handle that. So I think this is still the best bet would be to get your sister to chase us out here. You honestly think she's going to follow us out of Night City? Or can she?
As you're saying that,
Well, she's been following me this whole time.
well, as you're saying that Gizmo comes over the system, do you guys know anyone that's like a cat outfit? Apparently they're on their dirt bike shooting at us. You guys hear ding, 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 ding on the outside of the car.
Is there any danger from what she's shooting at us?
So even if she can only use a small caliber pistol? No? She'd have to stop and get something bigger? She's barely able to try keeping up. And she's gonna have to stop for fuel before we do.
Pinky?
Because in the crosshairs, we can blow her up if you
Is
want.
there
No.
No, do not blow her up.
is there like a pop-up to the turret on the roof? Is there a hatch or anything?
There's a turret. There's not a hatch. The turret is
No hatch,
remote
okay.
from the
Only
co-pilot.
controllable by rigging.
Yeah, she's jacked in and is currently leaning back and has her locked on. So what the viewers would see is they have her locked on. You see the co-pilot just like her fingers twitch a little bit, and like the turret on the top of the car is like locked right on, spun up, ready to just let loose with depleted uranium rounds.
Shoot the back wheel of the motorcycle.
We need to capture her alive.
Hit her with the
I know
car.
that.
Keyword
And I
alive.
know that wasn't part of our original plan or deal, and we can make it part of an additional bonus pay setup for that,
We
which we
could
can
slow the
negotiate.
vehicle down, open the door, and as it could leap out on her. Just tackle her off the bike. I won't die.
Well, if you want to subdue her, do you have something to do that with? Because I don't have anything like that in my car.
I got a flashbangs.
You know, this is what I'm picturing at this point. Is Ezek leaping out, knocking her off the dirt bike, picking her up with two arms, taking two flashbangs up with his extra Wolver arms, popping them off and pressing them alongside of her head. This is what it just flashes into Harlan's mind at that point.
And that ain't for me. I got sound dampeners and the flash resistance on Cyber Eyes.
We don't know what she's got either, but we need to capture her alive, and that's the point. Grandma, if we capture her, do you think you can meddle?
If she's subdued. But it's hard to really get work done if someone's moving.
Yeah, no, I believe that wasn't what the heavy side was about, Grandma. Don't worry.
So break legs.
Let's prefer not to break anything if we can help it. So guys, how close is she to the vehicle? To the nomads?
Well, yeah, no, she keeps switching her distance. She doesn't seem to be able to handle the Badlands quite as well. There's a stone. She just got sprayed with stone. She can't seem to keep her dirt bike up to well with stone chunks flying all over. That's kind of funny.
Do me a favor.
Don't laugh.
Make her think that she's better than she is by just slowing down a little bit, and when you see the proper terrain thing that you know she's gonna have to go for, just turn into it and brake and make her fucking slam into the car. We'll get out and do the rest. Can you find a spot that you think you can do that with?
Possibly.
Start acting
Are
like
you
you're
sure?
having engine trouble. We need to
The
take her
bike.
alive. I'm gonna say flat out, this is Pinky's sister who's been brainwashed. We need to capture her alive because we need to fix her. Think of
Do
it as
you
one
have
of
a
your
way to
clients.
subdue her and keep her contained?
I'm gonna point at Ezek, and we're gonna basically have him hold her down while we have Grandma fix the problem.
4 sets of knuckles.
Yeah, we've got a subdual method.
He's
It's
not
right
gonna
there.
look at Ezek. Ezek, remember, we need alive, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Break legs, not head.
No breaking! No one breaking any bones!
Hey, Pinky, I'm gonna look right at you and go, we may have to. She'll heal, and we can get her to a doctor if need be. We're going out to one of the best in the world right now.
Oh, this is
It's
my
just fucked.
sister, bro.
It's fucked, but it's the best chance we have of getting her right now. She's got no support. There's nobody out here to help her. Let's do this.
When's it replaceable?
Yeah.
Pinky,
Besides, how much of her has already been cybered out anyway? He might be breaking cyber legs anyway. That's just tech replacement. Hell, he might break it and then fix it for her after Grandma's fixed her head. He's the tech in the group now. As horrifying as that is to think about.
Hey,
I don't know what.
a moment to breathe and just.
And you're gonna watch,
okay. Fine.
and you're. Oh, hold on, let me. Oh,
Just
shit. How much wounded are we still, by the way?
oh, I'm fine.
I am not. I am at I am.
I mean, this is several days in the car, so.
This is a couple days. So this is
Okay.
day 2, so you can heal 1 day's worth of hit points.
And healing again is body
Body.
plus.
No, it's just body.
Just body.
Speed heals body plus will. Regular healing is body. If you have the improved antibodies cyberware, then it's body times 2.
We did get a bunch of speed heals.
Yeah, but I'm not going to use speed heals up unless I think we need to, right?
So, I mean, you could
Yeah, you
pop one of
probably
those per day.
So you said 2 days worth of healing, or 1 day?
We've only had one night so far. I will.
1 day. So one session of healing, you're heading on the second. If you don't take more.
I personally think causing the car accident or vehicle accident that we're talking about for this will be the best possible way to do this. You pounce on her and we strip her of gear and let grandma go to work. Rest of us stand guard.
I mean, if I can grapple her, I can just choke her out.
Yeah, that's the point. We make her unconscious, and once she's unconscious,
Yep.
How long is she unconscious for?
depends on how often you reach out and hold that carotid squeeze again for another 2.5 to 3 seconds. Perpetually, if you know what you're doing.
I'm sure that won't cause a stroke.
Hey, it also depends on how much cyberware she is. And we don't know how much this cat replacement is full fucking kitty.
Yeah, that's true.
The only meat thing that might be left there might just be a brain. Sorry to say that, puppy, or Pinky, but that's possible with what's going on.
Okay. So you're gonna rely on Ezek for physical containment?
Yup. And I need to hold on. I'm gonna go
I'm
to my
gonna have two flashbangs in my hands, pins pulled, ready to go. So I can just drop them as I step out of the vehicle.
Oh man, I didn't pick up any of those. I should have. Rubber shotgun slugs.
It's like board backgrounds or something.
Yeah, they're rubber shotgun slugs. They do the same 5d6 that they would do as I believe.
Take you below 1.
What's that? Yeah, but they can't take you below 1.
Like
Yeah, they
choking.
won't drop you below 1. As I think, or no, it's 46 is what they do. I think.
Does not cause critical injury. Does
Oh,
not
okay, just-
ablate armor. Leaves
Yeah,
target
that's-
at minimum 1 HP.
Yeah, so yeah,
Are you
you
looking
can't.
for the shotgun slug rubber?
Yeah, I don't have any.
We have some in the stash.
Oh fuck.
And there's actually rubber rounds for everything. Arrow, heavy pistol, medium pistol, rifle, very heavy pistol, shotgun. You
I lack the
only
permission
have
to take the
shotgun and rifle in stash.
You know what? I'm gonna leave my shotgun alone, and I'm gonna instead load a mag for this assault rifle with them. Would you be willing to transfer 25 of the rubber assault rounds to my character sheet? It won't let me take them for some reason. It says I don't have permissions. So
It's all good. I can do that.
cute.
You wanted how many? 25?
25 yet, so I've got enough for one full mag.
You should be good.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, they're there in inventory.
All right, and they've been loaded, and I'm going to. Good to go. As soon as they're willing to do what I mean, I'm basically asking them to just. Do they think is she getting close enough to even do that? What I asked.
It's a bit tricky. She's not very good at driving out here. We're evaluating and seeing what we can do. So give us just a little bit. Just make sure you guys are ready.
You know, that's basically what's going on.
All right, we think we got
He
something
watches me
worked out.
switch out to rubber rounds for the rifle and switch to it.
And before all this goes down, Pinky's going to grab Harlan's arm and just say, "Promise me you won't kill her." With a tear going down her face.
Turn and I look, I said, I can't promise that it won't happen, but it's not going to be by my hand.
As you say that, you hear the miniguns on above your head spin up. Target's down, go! The side door pops open.
Just leap
Right
out
next
at
to
her
Isaac.
and drop the grenades as I grab her.
You see she's about 40 feet or so away. And she has just smashed into this sandy, rocky terrain and just like plowed
Right at
in.
her.
Like the bike, you see the bike like spinning off the side, just absolutely trashed.
Yeah, my goal is to basically just drop the 2 grenades at ground zero when I grab her. Grab her with all 4 arms and restrain her.
Okay.
And I'm going to step right outside and come up with the rubber bullets in the hopes that I don't have to do anything other than
Roll your brawl check.
cover.
Okay. You can tell that it would be a lot harder if she wasn't trying to get up from having an accident where she's just plowed into the ground. Her helmet, you can see cracked on it, so it obviously probably helped keep her from dying. But you notice below the elbows and below the knees is cyberware.
I'm
But
just going to try
she-
and grab her and choke her out.
Yeah, so central portions are fairly organic.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Um,
break anything. Just like
so
my-
yeah, so you have her.
Am I
She's
still
trying
inside, or did
to.
I hop out too?
It's up to you.
I'll hop out as well.
I know Harlan at least would be looking at what her makeup is since he had asked.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So that's
definitely
why I
wanna
mentioned
know.
it as
The
as it grabs
flashbangs are
her.
going to each require a DV-15 resist torture drugs. Unless she's got
she. Yeah, she
audio
has that
and
Yeah.
flash protection.
because that's
So
one of the
she's
things
got
they
the-
made sure they gave her. Was
I
that?
figured she's a solo. I'm sure. I think she's a
It
solo.
was just very loud then for a moment. Very bright. No impact. All right, I removed the 2 grenades.
Yeah, she glares at you.
So with 3 hands, I'll be just grappling her and choking her out, and then once she's choked out, I'm going to start patting her. Yeah.
Did she actually choke out?
Walk slowly back to the thing, just patting her head.
Well, Ezek is going to have to try to keep her contained because
Okay.
there is an
It
escape
takes 3
check.
rounds, unless she's got less than, let's see, 3842 hit points, and might knock her out into it.
Yeah.
Because it does 14 body directly to her hit points each round, not lowering
Okay.
below 1.
So you currently have her still, so that's good. That's of the 3 rounds, that's 1 down.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh, human perception. What was that for?
Hey, earlier.
Yeah, no, it was
That's
fine.
fine.
Like, so,
Okay.
I responded.
I mean-
No. I just saw
no,
something
no,
moving. So
that
boss
was
rolled
me.
something and then
that was me.
didn't.
I deleted
Okay.
it because I was going to use it to like listen for a heartbeat or something like that. But
Okay.
That's medical.
I don't think I can do
You're
that.
barely able to keep her this time. You get one
Okay.
more to she starts trying to get out of your grip. You clamp down and she goes unconscious. Puppy, you look out, you see Ezek holding her with 3 arms and like petting her like a cat, almost like, you know, the arch villain with his pet cat. My precious, right? That's Ezek coming back to the car.
Well, let me find the clip.
Ezek?
And I'm just covering.
You know,
You're
you're great. Thanks for not killing her, but can you please kindly stop petting my sister?
You can't.
Grandma, can you do this faster if we're
She just has
stopped here?
cat parts, but she's
Oh,
not.
that doesn't matter as long as it's not jostling around.
Okay. We're gonna bring her inside the vehicle. We're
Does
gonna
she
look at
have
them and
cat ears as well as the tail?
the first thing that I'm going to do, every piece of removable gear, weaponry, everything that she has on her short of basic clothing. I'm not going to strip her naked because fuck. I mean, I'm sure Pinky would get really mad first off.
I'll probably slap you.
I'm going to look, well, once I get her down to the basic clothing, I'm going to look at you and say, you need to search her for any weapons that are underneath that then.
All right. I
I
can,
mean,
I can do that.
I look right at her and
and then I'll just be like,
your sister.
turn around.
Turn around.
No, Australia, I doubt that was on anybody's bingo card.
Oh yeah. We'll gently
do
like look around.
You can do a conceal reveal. So. Pinky conceal roof object 21. All right. So you are able to find a few concealed weapons, a knife and a pistol. And remove those.
Tail furry.
Yes.
And while we're in the doing this and everybody else is busy with whatever else, I'm just gonna be petting the tail because it's soft.
He's like a child.
It looks like it has neural plugs in it, but other than that, it's normal. Like a normal enlarged cat tail.
Normal tail on a person that dressed up like a cat. Yep.
Well, it's a
Cyberpunk
you know the
normal.
cyber snake. You know the cyber snake, right?
Yeah.
It's an artificial snake you can have come out and do things,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of like that, or the scorpion tail, but it's a cat tail, and it has the neural plugs in it, so she can still be fully active with her other appendages, while the tail goes and plugs in and does things.
Nice.
And in the bag, Harlan, you find a fairly damaged cyber cat that looks familiar to when you were walking around before that you had
What's she
seen.
been spying on us with?
It's kind of damaged since it got, smashed.
Can I try and fix it?
No, because you don't have all the parts that are going to be needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you had the parts, you could try, but you literally don't have some of the parts to fix it. So you'd have to manufacture.
Keep hold
Can
on
I
and then try to fix it
what's
later.
broken immediately but doesn't need replacement parts and what's there?
You can fix the pieces. You can put the pieces back together that don't need to have replacement parts. Yes,
I wanna do that.
But you can't do the rest. What were you saying, puppy?
We can hold on to it as well to get replacement parts when we get back.
Potentially. So
It could have some. It might lead us somewhere.
it's mainly just supposed to be a threat warning, but you guys decided to, pivot and plan something that would make it change things up. She was meant to deal with you when you get back to Night City, but you changed plans.
She followed us, man.
Oh,
At this point,
Well, I mean, she was going to show up and harass you a little bit, but then she was going to realize she couldn't keep up and head back to Night City and plot there. But I mean, hey,
It's out in the middle of nowhere. There's no support. There's no way to get away. Fuck
the
that.
two of you
We
have
got
been
her.
DM'd. How often do players make you pivot your plans?
Oh, every session if they're doing things right.
Exactly. I'm not mad. Doesn't bother me. I'm just saying, like. So, no. Good plans should be rewarded. I'm fine with it. So, yeah, you guys are able to have her and Grandma starts trying to work on her. Anything else you guys want to do?
Well, Pinky's just gonna stay with their sister while Harlan's grandma works on her.
I mean, we're still en route to Doc, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, if Grandma can, I don't know, if Grandma can do this while we're en route, then so be it. If not, then maybe we just hang out for the night and let Grandma do her thing.
And
Can I scavenge?
Pinky's also gonna talk to Harlan's grandma. Well, like, do you think this will work?
I don't know, dearie.
She's in the best hands possible. Don't worry. I'm fine.
Really?
Give a
We're gonna
giant
try.
fucking manic ass grin at Puppy. At Pinky. I'm fine.
Harlan, you're not helping.
Calm down. I'm being an asshole on purpose. Do you not goddamn.
When he says I'm fine, Isaac nods and goes, me too.
Listen, normally I just shrug it off, but right now it's not the time. So could you kindly just not talk to me?
Did you have another finger that dispenses Valium? You might need one.
What's Valium?
Why did it not
Just
do it
had to
right?
say it, didn't you?
It's a drug to make you not be so anxious, annoyed, stressed, or frustrated. You know how
There we
Boss used to be uptight all the time? It's a drug to kind of stop some of that.
Uptight?
How do I describe this? I don't. And Harlan's going to check out of that conversation without continuing it unless Ezek pesters him about it.
No, I'll probably pretty quickly forget about it between the cyber cat and then also, can I scavenge anything off the bike? Is there anything I can salvage that?
Oh no, the bike ignites and explodes
Oh, okay.
while you're choking her out. Because
Okay.
like it had been shot through and was leaking and everything, and all the sparks and everything as tumbling and striking through the ground ignite and just like
metal.
What you can tell is the Nomads decided, we're not going to let this bike hit our vehicle. Is he fucking crazy? Wait. Put a hole through a fuel tank. There, we're done.
I mean, can you blame them?
Did I tell them they had to do my method? No, we told them we needed her alive.
That's why they didn't shoot her.
Relatively
bike.
whole.
Does Grandma like hooking leads to her head or something?
Yeah, the same thing she did with Boss.
Grandma, once you're in there, can you make sure she stays asleep?
No, that's your job. She goes to work.
Will she?
Do we
Will
have
she
any
even
drugs? Do we have
remember
any
me?
drugs in the stash?
This was your plan, son.
Sleep grenade.
You got it, Sonny. You got to do it. And she just keeps on working.
I'm gonna take my gas mask off. I'm gonna take the fucking cartridge out of it, and I'm gonna look at Ezek and say, hold the cartridge out, hold the thing out, and say, can you rig this so that the gas grenade goes into here and we can just put this on her face so she's constantly getting sleep gassed?
Is that even safe?
Shut up. And I'm just gonna look over my shoulder and go, do you think it's safe to constantly choke her out?
Listen, I don't want her to have permanent damage.
I'm gonna have to check that for ruling, because I'm like, what does that fit under best?
God, yeah, please re-roll that basic tech.
No, don't.
Yeah, I'll re-roll that. That's bad.
Backfires and everyone else gets to roll instead of her. Be fun.
That's my attempt to rig it. Basically replacing where the cartridge go with the gas grenade.
Okay.
It's probably going to be ugly with lots of duct tape, and there's going to be no aesthetic appeal to it.
Oh yeah, just give me a moment here. I'm trying to find.
In fact, the duct tape is probably wrapped around it in such a way that half her eye holes are covered.
Be back in a minute.
Hey, I just thought it was... I'm usually pretty good at improvising ideas on the fly with what we have at hand. I didn't build a tech character though, so...
Maybe you should have.
Nah, I'm having fun playing this fucking
Oh,
lunatic.
hey, you're great. It's fun.
I can try and disable her limbs. Not wreck them, just disable.
Add your rank specialty to basic tech, cyber tech, electronic security tech, weapons specialty. You make for any non-maker specialty purpose. So you could do a field expertise jury rig, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I was using as field expertise. Oh, I guess you can click it to roll it. I was just rolling it off of the basic tech and adding the... And actually just click field expertise and then change the basic tech in the drop down.
Fabrication is you can actually fabricate an item.
I don't have any printers or anything like that. I don't think I'd be able to make use of that right now. But I put the points into upgrade and field. Eventually I want to upgrade all my own cyberware. Particularly the eyes, get another slot in each. Be nice.
Well, I guess you're going to need to take a lot of upgrade expertise.
And cyber tech. But it's going to take time too. It's not instantaneous or anything. It's going to take like some downtime.
Okay.
We're going to see if I can get a tool hand when we get to the doctor. See if he can give me a tool hand and install it.
Could be fun.
Got the cyber
So
hands.
let's see. Yeah, it's probably field expertise is the closest. How do we get the ruling on that?
Australia makes a good point. I need the hoses off everybody's gas or off of gas masks in order to make it long enough to. We're gonna tie her up with the gas mask hose that she's wearing to be grenaded. I don't know. Like I said, this is why I said, can you make this work?
I made it work.
Basically, I'm thinking he's probably trying to jimmy rig the grenade to have a slow release instead of an explosive release, and then
you make it a bleeder rather than an exploder.
exactly.
Yeah, I'll make a weapon tech check as well. So I'm gonna.
One,
Is that fair?
2.
That's better.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything else in it. Oh, it has tech in it. Just yeah. So they defaulted it just basic tech skill.
Yeah, I
and
just
doesn't
don't. I have a
any other skill
zero.
to
I
it.
have a zero skill ranks in weapon tech so far. I just didn't put any in because I haven't tried to use it, so there'd be no reason for me to have it. But now it's going to get an IP. That's been after this session.
It's been used.
Yeah.
Not seeing details on exactly how to rule on some of that difficulty, so I'm trying to
Yeah, it's kind of going to be
work on that. It's yeah.
That may not be good enough.
If it's shitty enough, it doesn't do anything wrong, and we all end up probably having to save versus sleep gas
What's
grenade
the
going off
cost
inside
category?
The car. What's the worst that could
Yeah.
possibly?
Give me the
fucking
cost
happen?
category
Come on.
of the grenade and the gas mask, please.
So cost
I
category.
found the sleep grenade. Found the sleep
The
grenade.
gas mask is
No,
basically going to be cheap.
Yeah, the gas mask is, I believe, the basic.
Grenade is expensive, 500.
Isn't that like a 21?
I don't know.
Oh, let me look really quick. Hang on.
There's a maker table.
Oh, I thought it'd be like a repair table.
expensive is a 21 item repair. And they suggest using that as a example.
Yeah, so I probably am not able to modify the grenade in a way that makes it a slow release like we want.
Is he going to know that? Because if
I-
so,
yeah,
we're not
I'd be
going to
like-
trigger it.
No, can't do it. I'd
So,
probably
like-
fail.
So I love like what Ezek's trying to do, but I wonder, and this is out of character. I wonder if his lack of intelligence is hampering him
Well,
significantly.
it doesn't hamper any of the skill use because my tech skill is what's being tested here.
Okay, that's fair.
And my tech stat is 6.
Okay.
So yeah, while I don't have any weapon tech ranks, I'm still got 6 ranks in tech.
Okay.
And then the maker I have 2 ranks in. I'm only got an 8.
Okay.
And then I took extra times.
Well, I guess we're just going to have to be prepared to knock her ass back out if Grandma's not done.
I just put my hand on her throat and be ready.
I have a group question.
Yes.
Are you willing to expend 6 luck points amongst all of you?
God damn, that's a
Sure.
lot of luck. Well, I got 1.
I got 2
Just, hold on, guys. I can put 5 into it and still have enough for a single reroll. I need 1 additional luck point.
I'll put it in there.
Done.
Okay. I know it's a hefty
Means I don't-
cost, but
Just simply means I don't have to reset the my luck total to full.
so that allows him to get some consultation from some people on how to do it, and he's able to get it to work.
Okay.
And so you are able to use that to keep around. I did roll for Grandma, and she tells you it's going to take a bit longer because they really didn't know what they were doing. It looks like she was an experiment that didn't go as well as they intended.
First generation got it.
Because it looks like
experimented upon.
It looks like an intern messing with her brain.
You're not
I can
making
undo the
Pinky feel
damage,
good.
but I can't necessarily return her to how she was.
Undo the
Will
damage
she
and
even
hope.
remember me?
I can vouch on that theory. I'm just saying I can make it so she's not, like, out to kill you. I can remove the kill people parameter. Let her be, you know, free to make up her own mind.
Fix the damage, Grandma. You can't tell me that you don't want her to at least fix what's already broken, right, Pinky?
It just did a
Yeah,
really bad job.
tell
It's
her
hard to know what's what in
To
here.
make her own decisions. And to not want to kill me.
By the way, can you tell by the handiwork who?
Whoever it is a total moron.
Wow.
Did your sister fall in with the Furion somehow?
Love the honesty, Grandma.
I mean, I can see that as someone in life tech based on some of these design structures, but man, they're idiot and didn't know what they're doing right. Okay, imagine painting, okay? What they did was take a 5-year-old and give him some finger paint and smear it on and call it art, okay?
Okay.
At least do his finger paint.
Eesh. I mean, could be finger paint, but, you know,
I mean, you can wash off finger paint.
they're
you
sure
talking
spewing
about?
finger paint as their
Somebody's-
quality of work.
Yeah, I could throw a handful of shit at the wall and call it art too.
People do it every day.
So, yeah, you can tell she is very, 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 very displeased with the quality of work here.
Okay.
Because she prides herself on, like, doing minimal alterations and it looking fine and finesse. She's like, look at this, Harlan. She pulls up an image of Boss's brain before and after. And you can, like, you don't even really notice much of a difference until she clicks something to highlight the color difference where the alteration was. Like, it's very, very minor and, like, very smooth and precise. See, look, this is my work, you see? Very pretty and clean. Pulls up the other brain. She's like, look, you can see edits here and here and here and here and here, and it's just a mess. It's a
Hold on,
disaster.
Grandma. Come. Can you look at it for pattern recognition? Is it one person who was a moron, or is it 3 people that were moron doing edits at different times layered on top of each other?
It's hard to say. It could be that. Very well could be.
Well,
But I
just
can't
watch for that
absolutely
while
tell
you're
you.
doing what you.
It's horribly
just
done.
watch. Fix it best you can. You're
trying to.
her best hope, Grandma. You
Jesus,
got this.
disaster. Cleaning it up is a pain, but I'm doing the best I can.
Don't worry. If you can,
And she just
figure-
keeps
if you can-
working.
Yep, and I'll to give her encouragement. I'll say, Grandma, if you can figure out the design code signature for who this person is and identify them, we'll put a bullet in them if we encounter them. Okay? Just gotta let me know who it is.
Disaster.
That's a promise.
Call this work. Ugly. She keeps going at it like this goes through a long time. You all like it's getting late and you all starting to like want to doze off. She's like, you can take shifts. I'm gonna be here for a while. Hey, Kane. Still got some of those cough pops. Pass them over, bud. All of them.
Oh damn! She's.
He pulls out like a box of them. She's like,
she's in
excellent.
business.
Rips open like there's those. They're kind of like those gum packs or other little packs or the mint packs, right? Where there's like 6 of them or so in.
Yep.
Instead of doing that, she just rips the whole thing and just
Yep.
all 6 of them.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you're gonna reach in and grab one too. Me too.
And she just keeps going to
Oh,
town.
God.
You guys wake up the next
I
morning.
think he's gonna be like, "Can I have one of those too?"
You wake up the next
He's not
morning.
going to sleep.
Like there's like 8 of the packages or more just like gone. And she's still just like hammering at it.
See, here's the difference. I'll look over at Pinky and says, she's in the best possible hands she could be. Grandma's upset about somebody being ham-fisted in their work, which means she's making sure she's fixing it right. The only way she works.
Trying to. This is the worst messed up garbage I've seen.
What's cyberware? What is sister's
Yeah.
name?
Her sister's name. All I got was Witch Cat was what I got sent, was the name that she was sending me messages under.
Her name is Savannah.
What cyberware does Savannah have? All 4 limbs, tail.
She didn't have any last time I saw her.
No, I'm asking. What
Yeah,
cyberware
no,
does
so-
she obviously have?
So before, she had no cyberware when Pinky last was with her. Now she has cyber ears. She has eyes, tail. Like I said, below the elbow and below the knees are modified with cyberware. They have additional climbing capabilities and stuff. Basically, they're made to look feline with additional features. The hands actually have embedded claws that can pop out, and she can utilize them as melee weapons.
Scratchers.
She was.
Scratchers.
She's a Khajiit.
Pretty
She
much.
has no wares.
I was gonna say, I mean, like, she's
She's got a
Facial
Khajiit.
modification?
She's just
has
trying to
no
go elsewhere, okay?
Does she have facial modification?
Is what?
Facial modification.
A
Whiskers,
little
no.
bit. The face was minor alterate. They left enough of her, so you could still tell it was her face.
Mm-hmm. With cat ears and then a couple of whiskers, shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So they didn't like give her the full body Biotechnica conversion, but they did give her some portions.
The shells that the minigun shoots, particularly large ones.
Fairly large for a minigun. Yeah, why?
I'm gonna ask the gunner at some point. Can I have one of those? Put it in bullets.
You ask if they can what?
If I can have one of those, pointing at the bullets.
Why do you want one of our bullets?
You put it in someone. That's a big one.
Why do you want a bullet in someone? Huh?
Ask Harlan.
I used a phrase, we're going to put a bullet in him. And I think he means it literally.
yeah.
Now,
Got it.
all I can once again envision at this point. Have you ever seen the movie Man on Fire?
Mm-hmm.
I have put a suppository bomb. And I'm going to ask you some questions. If I don't like the questions, beep. That's an amazing movie, by the way.
It's Denzel's best
Anybody who
movie.
hasn't seen that and
Just
Training
the-
Day
It's fine.
are
It's fine. Yeah. All good.
All right, so yeah, it is quite a while that Grandma works, and eventually she's like, all right, she's going to be unconscious for probably about a week. So you guys have fun.
Easier.
That'll certainly make this easier, yeah.
This is after like 48 hours straight of her hammering keys. And like her eyes are like red, and like she's just like,
You haven't done that in years, have you, Grandma?
no, good night.
Can we heal? 48 hours. Damn.
I'm thinking more
Also
of the
just like
scene from Shoot 'Em Up.
next to her sister, just like
With the
I
carrots.
fell asleep.
All right, I had 3 of you talking at once.
Sorry. Can we heal 3? Can we heal 2 days?
You can heal 1 more day now, yes. Puppy, what'd you say?
Pinky's sitting by her sister, and she also like just fell asleep.
Harlan's waking up from, because she said take shifts, so I would be waking up at this point to find out that she's done, and I'll be like, oh, okay. Good night,
And what did
Grandma.
you say for Ezek Malkov?
I was just gonna tell Nuts I was not picturing Man on Fire, I was picturing more of and Shoot 'Em Up when he hits him with the carrot and says he
Oh,
with
okay.
the large bullet about the size of a carrot.
Jesus.
Frame it in it.
All right.
Bullet in it.
So, any other discussions you guys want to have on your trip out there?
I just want to figure out what it's going to take for me to be able to fix that cat.
For you to fix the what?
To fix the little
Cyber
cyber cat.
Okay. Fire Cybercat. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It sounded like your mic just cut out there for a couple seconds at the end of the statement, so I just want to make sure I understood. I do.
Sorry.
Boy.
He wants a
I don't know if it was just on my end or theirs too, but my dog's acting crazy, so that could be part of my difficulty. The storm started here, so he's a rescue, and so sometime in thunderstorms he acts like he is on death's door and is just like all panicky and nervous.
Yep.
And that's what he's doing right now. It's just like pawing at me, because scratching me somehow is going to help him feel better. So sorry if I'm distracted. That's what's going on. Well, I mean, if he was laying here, I could pet him with my foot at least, do something for him instead of him just clawing me. But no, he's nervously pacing around, pawing at me instead. So be it. Where were we? Right. So yeah, if there's nothing else you guys want to do on the trip there, we can fast forward the rest of the trip to get to docks. But I just want to make sure I gave everyone a chance.
I think he's probably just mostly gonna stay quiet and sit by her sister the whole time.
Okay. Going once.
Good.
We're good.
Twice.
We're good.
Thrice.
Skip the docks.
So
After your trip, you guys have all been in the car for a very long time. You're getting to the verge where you're like, when is this trip going to end? All of a sudden you feel the car brakes slam on and the car just skid and stop.
Everything all right up there?
Of course it is. We arrived. Told you I was going to get you there. You guys have fun? Doors are unlocked when you want to go.
I'll hop on out.
Yep, me too.
You are greeted by Pinky's father with his lovely duster and cowboy hat and all.
Ezek, you got
Welcome
you
all.
got Savannah?
Yeah, I'll carry Savannah.
Look who we found.
Well, what do you know? What have you done with her?
My grandmother has done everything in her power to take all of the all of the various rather hack-eyed, hackneyed, horribly done conditioning off of her so she can be who she is. She should still be asleep for another day or two. How long for the week at this point in? Because that was within the first couple
probably
of days.
3-ish days in or so. Maybe
So,
2.
yeah, so you've got 2 to 3 days before she's going to wake up. We don't know how that's going to go yet. Grandma did the best she could, but she took her 2 solid days of work straight and said that's the best that she could do. I trust her work, though.
Everyone looks over at boss.
Boss got exactly what he asked for.
I did.
He did. That was my point, right?
1000%.
I didn't ask for anything. I got to live again.
That was a gift she kind of gave herself, was to not lose you.
Yeah, no, I'm totally okay with that. And it's led us to here. How's Doc doing? Or is he inside, or is he out here with us?
He was inside. But you notice there's a number of, small drones flying around.
Wave at one of the drones. Hi, Doc.
And for those of you who don't know, Doc is very much like a 40K Mechanicus individual with all sorts of cyberware everywhere. He comes out and he's like, "Hey, well, welcome back, y'all. Some of you are new. I don't know you. Don't know you. Don't know you. I don't know any of you. Where's the...
Except for Grandma.
Well, I know her. She's aged nicely. And I know you, Harlan. Where's your other 2 friends that you were here before with? I don't know the rest of these folks."
Well, he knows Isaac, because he worked on Isaac.
That's true.
I will look him right up and said I will tell him the location of the tree that we planted Blackstone under.
I see. And
No,
what
that
about
was
Zid?
that was before we encountered him. Blackstone was dead before that. Because Isaac was with the group.
No,
when
hold
we
on.
encountered him.
You've encountered Doc. You went back to Doc with Ezek.
Yeah, and we didn't
You
have
met
Blackstone.
Doc
So he would have
before.
already known. He would have already known about Blackstone then,
Yeah, he knew Blackstone was dead.
because we've been there twice. We were there twice, once before and then once after.
Yeah, so he would have met Boss. I forgot about that. And then he was curious where Zid went because he knew that you'd been with him.
Zid's,
And then Stitcher.
Zid's having some empathy issues. He's visiting some inpatient therapy for a while.
Right. Well, that's unfortunate. I hope your friends get better. Well, what can I do for you? Your associate here said that you guys wanted to meet up for something.
Grandma? Well, we have some questions. First off, you knew that there was a tracker in Ezek.
Yeah, I put it there.
What about the other 12 of him?
I didn't work on them, but my guess is they have trackers too.
Would you be able to possibly isolate those kind of signals?
Sure.
Okay. We think that they're being transmitted back and forth, and I will give him the basically the coordinates to where we know that the space station is, which I'm sure he is fairly aware of as well.
I doubt that, but I'll take a look.
Well, why you doubt that? Just curious.
Why would they send the signal there? All signals from them on the planet go through a central point in Night City, then up to the station.
Yeah, I don't know if that single point in Night City's operating that way anymore.
Check. Goes back inside. After a bit, he comes out. Well, were any of those fellows like your big friend here in Night City recently?
Yes.
Do you know what happened to him?
I can tell him when certain deaths occurred.
Yeah.
so I could give him when signal deaths happen, so that he'd be able to determine if they're the correct
Yeah, so
signal.
he goes back in, takes some time, comes out. All right, well, yep, that's them. They all have trackers. One's out on the East Coast with, it looks like, some exec or something. Let's see. So I'm trying to remember, how many did you guys find confirmed dead? It was
4, I believe.
for my own sake, I'm trying to count, make sure I tell you the right number and everything. So yeah, it was 4 there. So there's 1 there. There's 1 with the guy in Night City. 1, it looks like in Seattle or something like that, up in that area. There's 2 up on the station. And the other one looks to be at Night City, but the signal's flickering a bit, like there's some sort of problem with the signal. Subterranean or something.
We're also looking for a place for Grandma to hide out.
I don't know how much you'd like hiding out here. I mean, my abode isn't exactly spacious or luxurious like fine lady like hers used to. You're not a grease monkey like me.
Grandma, this might be the only option as far as for you to continue breathing. At least for a little
We'll make
while.
do and see what we can find. I appreciate it. Well, all right. We'll see what I can do.
Hey, Doc. While we're here, if anybody needs work done, can we talk with you about getting that done too?
Probably. What do you need done?
Hold on, while rest our hands. Tools.
You want what nuts did you say?
Tools.
Oh, just tools.
I was
for Ezek.
mentioning it more for just in general for the rest of the party. I had been thinking about getting some other things specifically, but I hadn't made decisions. That's my problem.
Well, I don't have cyberware to do that. Did you bring the cyberware with you? All right, well, I'd either have to take the time to manufacture it or we're gonna have to have one.
Got parts to fix this, and I'll hold up the what's left of the Cybercat.
I mean, I'll have to make a few of the parts. I could get it fixed after a while. It's probably gonna take about a week.
More pressing matter. Point at Savannah.
What about her?
Explain. Well, I'll let Grandma explain what she had to do. Is there anything else that we would have to worry about within her cyberware? Does she have a tracker on her? Those
I can
kind of
scan
things.
it and find out. Bring her in, put her in the chair.
Please do. I'm sure that I'm not carrying her anymore. Or Ezek's not carrying it. Well, I'm sure
Ezek
her
wasn't, was
father's
like petting her
probably
and stuff. It was like,
carrying her at this point now. He probably would want to have taken her from you immediately.
What are you saying, eh? So I was just loving her and petting her gently while we waited. She's a cat, so you pet cat.
Yeah.
so they put her in the chair and he starts scanning her. Finds a few discrepancies and issues with her cyberware and stuff. It's like, we'll leave her here for a while. We'll work on getting this fixed. Anything else you guys need?
Other than a place to stay for the night and a few more minutes to talk amongst ourselves to determine what we're going to do when we head back. Huge relief in Harlan's mind that this is now someplace where Grandma is now out, away from the problem, and safe. However, you said that there's still a central hub location where all the signals are going through and then heading up to the station?
Yep.
Still?
Yeah.
Do you know where that's physically located?
Let me check. Yeah, it's right in Night City. Right here. He points on the map right at where your grandmother's mansion was.
Awesome.
So the underground,
Bunker.
the underground facility and bunker that's there is obviously still functioning and operating, or at least is their communications hub.
I guess that's where we're going when we get back. I say that in a deadpan manner.
I'm gonna look at Doc and go, Doc, you spent a large portion of your life running from Life Tech because they'd kill you otherwise, right?
I'm not running from them. They can't find me. I don't exist.
Well, let me rephrase it. Hiding from them. Hiding from them. Not necessarily running, hiding. Keeping a low profile,
All
not
right,
letting
well,
them know
if I was to hack
there.
your brain and make it so it was impossible for you to see me, I'm not really hiding. You're just incapable of seeing me. It's a bit different.
Okay. So how do we apply that program's filter to one of us then?
You'd have to get into their mainframe, which I actually dropped a virus on that hacked it before they actually transmitted the data off-site. So I can literally walk through their base and they can't see me, but physically their people could see me, but their cameras and everything wouldn't detect me.
That's actually pretty fucking impressive. I'm assuming
thank you.
that they're maintaining most of their shit up on the space station at this point now.
That's where they moved their main hub to, yeah.
I still think nuking that place is the best possible option for disrupting everything that they're doing.
You sure? He hands you a folder, a manila folder.
Start flipping through it.
Transfer notice that have been printed out for Angela Kobold, Blackstone's parents, being taken off planet.
Fuck, the people were supposed to rescue her up there.
Assets are moved to
Still want to blow it up?
off-site location.
Yes. Just after we've evacuated the people we need, I'm not blowing Colton up. Notice, in all of that, the only one of them that he cares about not blowing up is the kid who got fucking pulled into this through no fault of his own other than he liked me and was looking out for my apartment. Angela, she was an adult. She knew what she was getting into. I wouldn't have hesitated to sacrifice her, but not that little kid. That ain't happening. So you now know as far as Harlan's morality really stretches for that. Oh, all these adults who knew what they were getting into, fuck them. This kid who had no clue, god damn it, now I gotta go do a rescue mission.
I'm sure no one saw that coming.
I intend to do that rescue mission while I'm carrying a sling bag with a Sovoil nuke strapped to my back anyway to leave behind as we leave.
You can carry a bigger one.
Get it? I only think we only have the one. Well, maybe two. I mean, it all depends.
Get two.
Well, no, she has two little ones. I know she had one, and didn't we find another one?
No, she has two small ones that she
has two small ones. I wonder what Knockall actually wanted for the megaton range one. Oh wait, no. That was the one that he said he'd get for me if I could get him 6 pounds of plutonium. That's right. Never mind. I don't know where the fuck I'd find any of that.
Ask the fixer.
Hey, Pinky, find me some plutonium.
Actually,
I need 6 pounds of plutonium. Go see if Doc Brown's found any.
Right on that.
I mean, I'm sure that the terrorists could supply some.
Oh. And
I mean,
as I say,
if you
Doc
actually have
Brown.
Pinky look for it, being a fixer, if I follow the rules, I have to say that she can find some, unless I purposely don't follow the rules.
Christopher Lloyd, like I was just talking about for that guy. Have you seen that they're redoing or they're doing a sequel to Nobody, and they've upped his character time in that movie to like a third of the movie? Have you seen Nobody with Bob
I have
Odenkirk?
not.
amazing.
Oh, it's amazing.
Amazing.
Absolutely great, hilariously over the top spoof, beat 'em up, but so well done.
That's amazing.
He had a
Yeah.
fucking heart attack doing that movie too.
I don't see where the DV list is for like finding stuff.
So,
Doesn't operator at certain ranks give you just automatic success though?
on what?
On finding things.
No. Like, you can just source it, period.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Operator rank, like,
Yeah.
and you can always find super luxury.
Wow. I mean,
And I mean, you gotta imagine the top, whatever the highest category is, that's where you plutonium.
plutonium's definitely going to fall into that. Yeah.
Well, it's price category based, is what it is.
Yeah.
Let me get here. Fixer roll. So,
Category
at,
chart.
Puppy, what rank are you at right now?
8.
He can successfully buy luxury and super luxury items and pay half now, half later. She can always find a place to source very expensive items, period. No Night City or anything needed. She can just always find very expensive.
Meaning she could probably find us uranium, but not plutonium.
Very expensive is, what was that price category? I can't remember it offhand.
The chart I'm looking for.
At rank 9, she can always source up to luxury items. And then at rank 10, super
Very
luxury
expensive,
items, which means you can always find anything because there's nothing above super luxury.
Here we go. Oh, very expensive is 1,000. It's nice to
Yeah.
remember what luxury is.
I think luxury or the super luxury are just terms for them to use for the DM.
Oh, no, I'm just. Oh, okay, here it is.
They're
Luxury
price
is
categories.
5,000. Super luxury is 10,000 and up.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
and being super luxury.
What kind of price do you put on a certain? I mean, something like that. There are very few
Above
things.
10,000. It's just
Yeah.
above 10,000. It doesn't really matter as much.
Anything above 10,000 is 10,000-ish, and it's super luxury.
Yeah. You have to be able to find it.
Yeah, and that's the thing with someone who is fixer, like right now, with no changes, anything of a category of very expensive down, she just can find.
Yeah,
She
it's
knows
just-
who to contact to get it.
You have to have a 10.
And then luxury and super luxury, she has to have a night market or find a contact. But that means everything up to 1,000 eddies a piece, which is the price category, she knows where to get it. Plutonium is luxurious. Thank you, Prepper Jack. I appreciate that.
Actually, super luxurious.
So I've never priced that. I don't know what it would go for, and I didn't see them list it in the documents. So
Hey, Australius is right. We just need to hire the right scav gang to go check the hot zone for us.
I wish I could say you're wrong, but it's probably not wrong.
protocol was talking about finding us a slightly used Minuteman ICBM to try to be what we were going to design for our delivery to the space
system.
station.
Yeah. So what's
But that
another
was also
item
what
that would
we
have
thought we were just-
similar cost to that? Probably a vehicle, right? Like in our world, what would be an equivalent cost to some of that?
Absolutely outrageous. Besides, it doesn't matter. Plutonium doesn't matter. It's
It would be
absolutely
super luxury
ridiculous.
because they're all that. Okay. Yep, we're good.
It's because we're not blowing the place up other than on the way out. And you know what? It's a space station. To be honest, we don't need a nuke to take out a space station. Things that are designed, I mean, look, you design a submarine to be robust and tremendously strong because the environment's trying to force its way in. Space stations and spacecraft have a hostile environment on the outside, but it's not trying to force its way in. It's trying to find a hole to allow what you're holding on to desperately to escape. It's an entirely different design structure that doesn't require anywhere near the robustness that most things have. The grenades Ezek is carrying in some cases might be able to blow big fucking things holes in parts of the space station. Now, I can bet that big chunks of it are probably pretty armored. And if it's where these folks are trying to live, we don't know. But they're talking about some of the fucking files that we found, which, by the way, this will probably be the first time Harlan shares this information. Involve a generational colony ship that they're planning on being the master overlords of where they're going next, taking all the personalities along with them, like the ones that were slaved up inside that compound, without actually having to take the people. Just print off a body and throw them in until the personality doesn't work anymore. Free slaves. Just how many personality imprints can we put into that computer bank? 3D print us another one. That's what they're doing. They want to use that to get them across to whatever star system they're going. I have no idea where that is. I don't think we can just blow up their space station unless that space station is also where the ship is and everything that they've got going.
I mean, they might already have a interstellar network.
No, they're not out of the space station yet. They're not out of the star system yet. Not even close.
Intra.
They're in the process, yeah. But yeah, we need to figure out what that's all there.
This reminds me a lot of the movie Moon.
And
Sorry.
we do need to look into an actual vehicle with the intention of trying to be able to actually evacuate people. The thing that I'm the most terrified of, all of us in Colton, and as many more as we could manage to go, but I've just given you my priorities. I can get Angela, awesome. But Colton's the priority in my opinion. I would have said Blackstone's parents as well if Blackstone was still alive. He's not. Just wake them up to say, hey, we knew your son. He helped us search for you until he died. We can show you the tree he's buried at. It's kind of cruel.
They can at least visit.
I don't know, man. Did you ever see the episode of House where John Larroquette co-starred in it?
Yeah, I'll say
where
that.
he showed up and they wake him up out of a coma to find out that he's been in coma forever,
Yeah,
find out
that
his
sucked.
wife's gonna
Yeah.
die,
Yeah.
and it's his wife's already dead. None of his kids are anywhere close enough to see him or visit him before he's gonna go back
really
into
sucked.
coma. He's like,
That was-
what are you gonna do? He's like, I want to go here and I want to have this sandwich and this meal, and he's like, if I'm gonna be awake and this is all I get, I'm gonna go do something that I know that I love.
Yep.
Can't get anything else that I want, I'm gonna go do that. You know, and they couldn't stop him. Yeah, no, the episode sucked, but the whole point of it was, if all you can do is just do the one thing, do that. Okay? I don't know if we're going to be able to stop all of Life Tech's plans, but we need to figure out how we do that. I thought it was going to be big, giant, catastrophic explosion, and it might still be. Just hopefully with me not in it.
Yeah,
That's a change.
it is. I didn't expect that.
No. You're hearing that out of Harlan when he smiles and he says it. He's like, yeah, I'm going to be a selfish prick and I want to live. But more importantly, Colton needs to get out of there if he's got a body to come out of there with still.
Boss suddenly
Harlan.
misses his mom.
Harlan, dearie, could you do me a favor?
If you try telling me to execute protocol, whatever, I'm going to punch you right in the mouth, Grandma. What do you need?
Execute your lovely child, and I love you a lot, child. Could you inject this to your sister if you ever find her? It's a virus I made using your revival. It only work on family members.
Will this fix her?
It will rewire her like it did you,
Oh wow, that is
but it only works on family members because of the genetic similarity.
nice.
Maybe.
You wouldn't let me get close enough, and I didn't have
that.
Ezek with me.
She just told me that I might be able to. Yes, Grandma, I will try to fix her. Fuck.
Yeah.
Is she fully in charge right now, Grandma?
No, I don't think so. Based on what your friend Doc here said, it sounds like they may not be in control. It looks like someone else is. Something about
Someone
Baron or something like that.
Baron?
They keep talking about like Baron's orders or something. I don't know who that
Wait.
is.
Wait. Was it? What was the symbol that you saw? It's going to be, I think it was either you, Azrael. It was something that somebody saw in red for the fucking red AI that matched blue.
It was
There was a
Zid and
symbol
Blackstone.
associated with that. I wasn't in the game yet when that was happening, but I remember hearing and watching that cast, or listening to that cast while driving back from Gen Con before I involved myself with this campaign. There was a physical symbol involved in that.
Is it an
And if
eyeball?
it's no, it wasn't an eyeball. If I'm remembering it correctly, it was a particular crest of some kind. And if that's a fucking Baron symbol crest that is what that actually is, I think we know who's actually in charge.
I guess
Zid
you
showed
have
me
some
what that
research you
symbol
need to
was at
do.
some point or another.
Gonna have to talk to Zid.
So you
Maybe blue.
you think the AI is in charge?
I think that they let the AI loose, and it's malicious, unlike the way Blue was built. If it's malicious, it's going to make itself in charge as quickly as possible. Which might mean the people who think they are going to be the overlords are just going to be the highest echelon of slave.
I was gonna say they're just gonna be puppets. I wonder if this is gonna be where, like, if it is an AI, like at some point we're gonna have AI v AI like clash, and that's gonna be lots of fun to watch.
Yeah.
But
So, anyone have any idea, like, what I'm saying? I'm kind of want everyone here for a discussion soon.
yeah, I get it now. Yeah, I mean, and before I forget, this isn't like impacting anything right now. Boss misses his mom a lot right now. I don't know why, but he's just feeling a strong sense of, mommy, where are you? I don't know why. I haven't like processed that part of the character yet, but for some strange reason he just finds a sense of, maybe it's the like grandma talking about fixing his sister, or maybe it's all this family like talk, but there's something in Boss's, in like, it was in the back of Boss's mind, but it's suddenly moved.
Did he just freeze? Oh,
What I did.
I don't know. Just all of you froze. It looks like for some reason my signal may have gone blew up.
Did you get
Oh
everything?
yeah. No, I got almost everything. Just at the very end, a few seconds ago, it just went.
No, it's like, so like a lot of the like family talk, like Boss has been like thinking about mom and everything in the back of his mind, but now all of that has come to the front and it's just churning. So we'll see what happens, like when, like, the next couple of sessions. See what happens.
This is not a plan we can pull together overnight.
No.
Unless you've got a spacecraft tucked away somewhere.
Mom, got a spacecraft anywhere? Can we borrow?
Unfortunately,
Hold on.
those have all
I'm
been
gonna
claimed
turn-
by a different
I'm gonna look-
organization.
I'm going to look at Doc and go, you don't happen to have a spacecraft tucked away somewhere, do you?
No, but I could locate them.
That would be very helpful. By the way,
There's
can you determine
3 in Night City.
Like in Night
Well,
City.
How
Underneath
about
Mom's
the
mansion.
ones that are going back and forth to where we're going specifically? Because if we
Well,
could
that'll take some
hijack...
time, but I'm sure I could find that.
Okay, so how do we keep in contact with you rather than actually having to show up here and talk to you face to face?
Well, you can thank him for that. Points to Pinky's dad. He hands you a piece of paper with a number on it. That's my number. You can call me if you need me.
Perfect.
He didn't have signal out here before. You guys check your phones. You all have signal out here.
God damn.
There actually is a device that is a signal
wonderful.
booster, that is a device that can be used to access. And her dad brought a few and put them up so that Doc now has direct connection back to Night City and other technical locations.
Sound handy.
Well, it makes him who was completely uncontactable still contactable by us very few who has this phone number.
Go ahead and burn that when you're done, if you don't mind.
Okay, so I looked at the number, kicked it into my brain dance the way that I do, and then just look at it, and it is actually on a piece of actual paper.
Oh yeah, he's an old school guy.
I'm gonna
Which you find
smile at it
hilarious.
real big. And just chew the thing up and swallow it.
Can I have some? I'll eat it.
It's not very tasty.
I don't care. Ezek has not shown any care about food.
You put something in your mouth and he didn't get any. He wants to have some too.
I turned around and handed it to him. Notice he asked and I didn't hesitate. I'm like, sure, means I have to chew up less fucking paper. Oh, so this at this point is now a trip back.
Unless there's anything else anyone wants.
No, I'm good.
Would have been nice to share the number, but
I'll tell it to you.
Yeah, I expect him to share it with everybody that needs to talk about. I mean, especially you, Pinky, because you need to check on your
There's
sister.
a fixer. And you're gonna need, I mean, where are we? I mean, your sister's gonna be out for a couple more days. We're gonna hang out till she's awake.
We have enough food.
We
I'm
do
gonna
have enough
look
food.
I'm gonna look right at you, boss, and I'm gonna say, well, I think we should, primarily because I think Pinky needs it. I think her dad, I don't think she's going anywhere. Her dad's going anywhere until we know for certain that she's good.
See, Harlan, this is why I need you.
I mean, boss has paperwork he needs to get done.
because Boss does have paperwork that he needs to get done, but also
He can do from here now.
exactly correct. And now that I check, like I'm getting all these messages now, like missing report. I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, in a deadpan manner. And then I go back to the car, and like I just start working away.
This is an
Yeah.
unfortunate circumstance. I should rectify it immediately.
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta do this for the rest of the day. I want to argue. I don't have time.
But yeah, I mean, I gotta do all this computer work. So stay or go. I'm fine with staying or going now that I can actually get work done.
Go do your job. We're gonna hang out until we know Savannah's awake, alert, not still attempting to murder us all.
I asked Pinky's dad, do these devices mask location?
No?
So they're gonna so my corporation is gonna know that I'm out here in the middle of nowhere and not in Night
I mean,
City.
it depends
where
if
I'm
they
supposed
actually
to be.
bother checking or not. Do they actually check your location?
Here,
I hope
hold on.
not.
Hold on. And I will then give boss access to one of my secondary drop locations for how I post news stories out so that he can just post his work to there with instructions on where it's going to need to be sent to. You'll post it there, 10 minutes later from in Night City it posts to there. I've got like 16 or 17 of those so that I can fucking make sure that none of my shit's ever traced to where I'm at. I've been running from Life Tech for 30 fucking years.
And I thank Harlan very much. See, again, this is why I need you, man. This is why I need you.
This is just part of how I do my job as a media. You want me to make a credibility check for that?
Sure. See how good of a spot it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
28. There
Pretty
you
good.
go. Yeah. You have one that's like a coffee shop. You have another one that's just known as a tech diner where people go to work. Generic, come in, borrow a desk area. One's an apartment building. You paid a guy to stash a box in the back closet.
You mean
There's
just
never
one that's
other.
the University of... There's no University of Night City anymore. Nope, you're right. But their library's still in existence back down there. Nobody knows the building's buried there, and it's still there. Their node connection's still there. Why do you think I didn't shut it down? Fuck you guys. That's like 35 years old. That kind of shit.
Yeah, I take all this information, I go and I just hammer away. I got a lot of.
He even has one from the middle of the hot zone if you really want to, make your company wonder what you're doing.
Oh yeah, drop from there. Do that one. That's perfect. They ask what you're doing, you say you're getting a tan.
I'm just gonna periodically throughout the 3 days while we're waiting, go to check on Savannah. Sleeping.
Yeah, and I'm going to
keep that up. I'll go ahead and take a video of it and show her when she wakes up. She might have a new target.
You're saying that's her dad? I'm gonna lean in and go, he's gonna try to pet her even after she wakes up, regardless of what you say. So you might as well just let that occur when it's gonna happen, because I think there's gonna be a brawl on it regardless. Unless she remembers him fondly for choking her out. I don't know. I mean, some people... oh wait, that's her dad. I'm gonna walk off. I'm just gonna stop and walk away.
Just ignore him.
Now canon, Savannah's into choking.
No, Harlan thinks she is.
No, Harlan's just a weirdo.
At least you admitted that.
Ignore Harlan. We all do.
Why ignore him when you can put a hit out on him?
Anyway, guys, this is normally when we would be bringing to a stop.
Yep, I was about to say. So what we'll do is next week we will do her waking up, get you back to Night City, and have you all sit down with Zid and have a long talk.
Yeah.
Can we all agree that fast forwarding through the trip to Night City is the plan?
Yes, please.
Because that's what we would prefer, unless you've got something you need for an encounter on the way back. If we're going to have Matt there, I would really not have to have him waiting for a third of the session from the beginning kind of thing.
I did think of a nice little short circuit thing that you guys didn't think about that would have made it possible. You left an AV under someone else's care who he's in the care of. So technically,
he could have been on the way here already. Yeah.
He could already be here.
Or on his way.
Yep.
He could be arriving to say.
It'd take hours to get there.
You guys want to take the AV back and just pay the nomads to run Savannah and her dad back once she's awake?
It depends on if he's done his treatment in time or not. That's the thing.
Yeah. So anyway.
But yeah, no, I'll handle that. It's fine. I tend to try to have a few redundancy plans in place just in case, so that it's reasonable. Instead of, DM fiat, oh, we actually been here the whole time. I don't like that. So, but yeah, we'll pick up next week. Zid should be back. You can say anything you want with Savannah. We'll have that wrap up. She'll probably go back with your dad unless you say otherwise. Assuming everything's okay. And then Grandma will stay with Doc. You guys can all get back to Night City with Nomads, meet up with Zid, have a long discussion about plans, and then start executing those plans. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
All
This
right,
has been
viewers.
you guys, thank you so much for this. This and Pathfinder are the two things that I look forward to that don't involve my family every single week, and I really appreciate every single one of you for doing this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Thank you, lovely viewers, for being here. We do hope you thoroughly enjoyed. Join us next week where we pick up from there and see what other crazy things happen. Till then, as always, enjoy the story. We'll catch you all next time.